What's up, Mr. Lobo of 999 Official? My name is
What's going on?
Holden Stephan Roy. This is Bridge the Gap, the show where we talk to interesting
Bridge the gap.
people such as yourself, and we go through your life story
Appreciate that.
and we try to extract knowledge nuggets from your existence so as to better all of our collective understandings as human beings and such. So, with that, it's super cool. I just want to let y'all know that this guy apparently smoked Chris Chrome in a little competition recently, is how it was reported back to me. That's how this little interview came to be. Chris was like, yo, you got to check out these 999 official guys. They're so good. Da 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 da. And I was like, okay, we've got to talk to them.
Wow, appreciate that.
So, it's super.
Awesome. Yeah, cool dudes, Chris Chrome.
Yeah. So, he's the guy who's going to edit this after. So, shout out Chris Chrome for holding it
Awesome.
down
There
like
you
that.
go.
Uh,
Edit the best parts, bro.
so basically, yeah, to get this off started, right, I do have a proper opening question, but before we do that, can
Right.
you just let the people know where you start your life? That's actually really important information for the
I
opening
started
question.
my life in Chile, Santiago, South America, born.
What?
And then my parents came all the way down here, man,
How-
in 81.
So you were like born there and they came there when you were a baby?
Yes, sir, when I was 3 years old,
Understood. And then you came to Montreal at that point.
directly.
Awesome.
Montreal, yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool though. So with that though, my first question is a little bit of a story, and when it lands, you'll be
Okay,
able to like take it away and just answer however it feels natural. We'll go from there, and it all starts out
of
with my
course.
girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes one time, and she's got her phone out and she's playing the Black Eyed Peas song. I got a feeling, ooh, and she's vibing and she's
Yeah,
dancing and she's doing her thing, and I look at her and I go, when in the fuck did this song become chores music? Right? Like, because if you think about this song, you run it back like 10 years, it's middle of the night party music. In Montreal, it was all about that
right.
circle
Club
that we
music,
would
yeah,
do, and like people would jump around
exactly.
and shit. Run it 10 years in the future. The song doesn't change at all because it's a song. We all get a little bit older in life, and now that song is no longer party music so much as it's the music we put on when we're doing boring things like chores and working out, but wishing we were partying and doing all the fun stuff again. And that got me
Right.
like thinking about the musical journeys we all go on and stuff like how them 20-year-olds they be running around with the pop smokes and the drills and they don't even know that that's the future chores music of their life. Like they don't know. I heard pop smoke and started doing my little woo dance while I'm washing dishes now, and that's just the circle
Right.
of life as it be. And it got me thinking about like how when you talk to artists and you watch these interviews and different things, you often see people start their story at the exact same spot, this adolescence place where identity starts to form. Like, I'm 12 years old and I started hearing these bars, or I first heard this, I was 9 and it changed my life, and all these things. And all of that is a very important part of an artist's story. Don't even get me wrong, but it kind of
Right.
overlooks like the whole first part of the story that's equally as important. Like when you came out of hospital up in Chile and whatnot, there's a good chance there was some music playing up on some speakers and it was being absorbed by a little baby you, even if you don't even remember it. And I say that because I
Oh,
can.
I remember.
That's wild. I can remember being like 5 and stuff, in Montreal here, in the little apartment in Costa and Luke. My dad's got the gray boxes all over, the preamp, the amp, the tape deck, the radios and shit. And he's got the
Right.
wires going to the speakers for that like homemade surround sound experience. And he'd be playing his Led Zeppelin tapes and stuff like that in the day. At nighttime though,
Awesome.
MC Mario Club Mix. That's what was going on. That kind of stuff. My
Yeah.
mom, she was more the discos and the musicals and the romance songs and that a whole bunch of different vibes.
Right.
Add in some pop, some Disney, etc. And you got this whole like soundscape of stuff you're almost forced to listen to before you have any control over what you choose to listen to in your life. So I was hoping you could bring us
Right.
back to being the youngest Lobo you can remember being and walk us through a little bit what it sounded like to be you growing up before you had any control over
Right.
it.
Well, the earliest I could remember, the like the oldest, not to say the oldest music, but Michael Jackson was a big part of it. I mean, as tacky and corny as it sounds, because it's like I guess for a lot of us from the 70s, 80s, when I heard that Off the Wall album, I was like, wow, who who's this? I mean, the beats, the rhythms, the voice, the choruses, the bridges, all that just blew me away. So I was like. I was sucked in at a young age with music, and my parents used to play records all the time
Mm.
of Michael Jackson. I mean, old school Spanish, romantic songs, all these classical dudes, Camilo Sesto, Puga, Julio Iglesias, all that. So that was always in my house. And plus my sisters who are like a lot older than I am,
Okay.
they were playing, like you said, Led Zeppelin, Jim Morris and all that. So it all came at, I noticed Michael Jackson, MJ, I noticed him. I took a took a big part of my musical, likings, but then with my sisters and everything, I started getting into a whole, a lot more, a big variety, if you want to call it that, a big variety of other musics and styles.
No,
Yeah.
and it's super
So that's the
interesting
earliest.
because everybody kind of answers that different. Although the Michael Jackson people, from what I've been told, you had to have been there, and unless you were there, you would not be saying things like Drake compares to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, man. Yo, bro, I had the gloves. I had the jackets with the zippers, like I went all out, Now, if the moves and all that, you know what? I I wasn't sort of attached to the movements and learn to dance. I was really into like listening to the music and like separating the sounds at an early age.
Okay.
I could separate sounds, which back in the days, as you know, LPs, which is like a great sounding way of listening to music, you could hear the sounds really well the way it was mastered to put on LPs. So I just remember that that's what caught my attention. Yeah, the moves were amazing. He's an amazing dancer in the videos and all that. But, for a lot of us that came here from other countries, the TV wasn't the first thing we had, you know? It was
Okay.
the boom box, it was the music, it was the records, the
Actually, that's a
speakers, so it
really,
was
really interesting point that you just said that I've never thought about. Because, like you just said, you basically you immigrate here when you're really young, and your family doesn't have a
right.
TV, whereas a lot of people who might have grown up here
Exactly.
would have just had that TV based off of
Yeah,
not having the costs that come with immigration.
exactly. Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. Now, don't get me wrong, like it didn't take that long for us to get a
Right, right,
TV,
right.
but that moment, that gap
No,
where I
no, it
was
was
introduced to all
noticeable.
these kinds of sounds and musics and being here, Montreal, which is super diverse and multicultural, I caught on right away to music, like just watching my sister play records and watch my mom on Sundays when it was cleaning time, play these slow tunes from South American Spanish tunes and, French tunes, Joe Dassin and all that. So it was big variety. So I was already like separating and dissecting music at an early age, listening to the bass line and knowing that that was the groove and the rhythm, that's what got you moving. And once again, like I said, I didn't jump into the aspect of the dancing in the videos because, like I said, there was a gap there. But as soon as the videos came and you could
Mm.
actually see the artists, still I was trying to, like wonder how they do all that, how they make music. Because now you just see the guy dancing and you just see the guy singing, but there's nobody playing the music, for the music that had no bands, like Michael Jackson and
Right.
stuff like that, But
Yo,
for
and
everything
that's
else, yeah, of course, you
okay.
see
So
the
that's a
rock
super
bands and all that.
interesting point too. It might not be that like I've never thought about that before. Cause since I'm like growing up, I'm born in '87. So for me, by the time I'm cognizant of
Right,
stuff, like it's kind of you get it, right? Everyone gets how it all
right,
works. But to go from the period of
right.
like everything's bands to all of a sudden you're seeing people without bands, that must have been like that's supposed to be crazy big for a kid to like
Yeah,
go through that
exactly.
process.
Yeah, because there was a lot coming in. I mean, the 80s, man. I mean, you got so many you got Prince, Michael Jackson, you got Queen, you got, you know, uh, I could name a million of them. Sade, which I'm a huge fan of Sade. As soon as I heard the first Sade records, I was like, oh my God, like that's it. That's what music sounds to me. That's music to me. I wasn't really, connected right away to the electronics. I like disco, but it was like from my sister's era, so I wanted my own thing,
Mm.
and then when I started figuring out,
And then
yeah,
because you had your older sisters and you said significantly older, they was the ones doing all the dirt, all the lifting, finding the music, and you just get to absorb
yeah,
that.
exactly.
And so,
Yeah, the crate dig. And I remember Sam's Music downtown.
mm, I,
I remember them taking me once there when I was a little kid and just them going through digging in the crates, looking for stuff and bringing home back stuff and listening to it and being like in complete awe because I had no say, right?
right.
I'm a little I'm a little wolf at that time. I'm a cub.
So that's cool though. That
Yeah.
like already though at a super young age, you're like in a sense breaking down stuff and getting into producer mode before, because most people don't go there right away. You're one of the
Yeah,
first
I didn't
people I've
even know,
talked to.
man.
I was like, yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah.
was super cool, and then the rest of it came okay, but there was the fucking
Yeah,
sounds,
it came
bro.
much later because my thing was basketball. As soon as I was a teenager,
Mm,
my thing was like basketball. It was basketball here because I'm 6'5", right? So
right.
it was like a, it was like written for me, like, yeah, you got to play basketball. So I played basketball,
Which high school did you go to?
played basketball in the streets, yeah, and for the schools, for Ville Saint Laurent, and that was a dream, but then I broke my leg, and then I had a lot of time at home watching movies and listening to music, so that was another part of my life that things sort of started, taking place,
Right.
taking form,
So basically, you're into like music as like more, let's say, as like a fan of it all, right? And then you're consuming it.
yeah,
You don't really
completely.
have any big aspirations. You're being a kid,
Not really, because
and
I don't idolize. I don't. That's my personal take. I don't idolize, like musicians, artists, or actors and people that are in the entertainment business as idols. Like, oh my God, that's my idol, or that's
mm,
what I idolize from making or loving music. I just see music as it's a form. It's unique because it's theirs. It was that person's moment of writing something, of producing something. And even before I ever started producing, like I told you, that gap of just listening and intaking everything, it was just listening, like liking, knowing what I like, there was a lot of melodies in those times too, which is what, the 90s, when the 90s hip hop and everything came in, not a lot of the tunes had melodies, it was most
facts.
samples and
A
it
lot
was,
of
it was
fucking long verses.
grimy. Yeah, exactly. 30, 32 bars, 48 bars,
Nine guys on a
there was an
song.
endless. Yeah, exactly. But that's the other part that comes later on, when you start producing, then you start thinking, yeah, I need melody because I need a good chorus for this track. So
mm,
that's how I relate to music. I go back to those things, like I pinpoint times in my life where I was listening to songs when I make beats, and I tend to go in that mode and not to recreate whatever kind of melody, but I go back to moments. I believe that when I create music, I create a moment in time. I create a moment in the music because it's momentary, whether you like it or not.
right.
When I'm making music, I'm not trying to make something that's timeless or that it's periodic to a certain point, but I just make it. And then
Honestly,
comes
that's
out what
like
comes out.
that's one of the more artist ways to approach music, if you ask me, where
Yeah,
it's less
absolutely.
about the end goal and more about the expression. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
and I find that really
Because you
cool.
always start making music like, oh, I'm gonna make this today, and it never comes out like that. At least
Nah.
not for me.
Um,
That's what 90% of the time happens.
I have to like marinate on an idea for 6 months to be able to pull off. This
Yeah,
is what it's
exactly.
gonna be.
Yeah.
Spontaneously, nah. I'll be like starting a verse over here, and it's all the way over there by the end, and it just does not go.
Yeah,
And I think that's cool. Music is great like that. Um, and then you
yeah,
basically transition into basketball because of height, which is a fair point.
yeah, exactly. And
And
I loved it. I was good at it. I was a center, chosen for the Jeux du Québec.
okay, that's like
Unfortunately, because of my leg injury, it was kind of hard, to catch up with the other guys and shit. So, you know,
so like how old
it
were
was
you when
that.
you got the leg injury?
That was 90, 91, I believe, 91, 92. Yeah. And then 92, 93 became the musical, when music started coming in. First, I started listening to Cypress Hill. I get an attachment because, of course, they're Latino. So I
Mm.
was listening to hip hop before that, Cool Moy D, Run DMC back in the 80s. I was listening to all that. But when I saw Cypress Hill and then some other cats and cats I related to, uh, it made it almost seem like, hey, maybe I could do this. So I just started writing little poems. I used to write poems for girls at school that wanted to write poems to their boyfriends. Imagine, for
Yeah.
girls, not guys, for the girls. Imagine.
So you
So that's
wrote
how
like
my
so hold
poetic
on. You
side
wrote
and
poems for girls that were trying to impress guys, like as a ghostwriter. So you were a high school
exactly
ghostwriter.
something like that. You can call it that. You could call it that, man. Seriously, I never thought about it like that, but that's what it was, man.
I mean, you dropping
Yeah,
bars to help girls get a little action
I was
in their
dropping
life.
bars.
Bro, I bet
Yeah,
that's a
man.
whole business model waiting to be had today.
Yeah. Imagine that, eh? Imagine
Write
that.
you shit for your
Well, I mean, now
Tinder.
you go on Google and Yeah, exactly. The swindler, Tinder swindler at school. Shit, yeah.
That's still a good way to practice too. And then you gotta practice different voices for the different girls, and
Yeah, man. All that was molding. Well, I guess like everybody else, right? Anybody else, actually. You know, your life molds you. I mean, I
yeah,
believe that, nobody heals from being a kid.
right.
Whatever happens to you as a kid stays with you, no matter if it's good or bad or amazing, it stays with you. And that's what molds you into being who you are later on. It's just what you do with it afterwards, you know.
Facts. I mean,
And as soon as I got an affinity to music because I could touch it, I bought myself a Boss DR 55. I always forget 55 or 505. And I started making my beats on it.
what kind of machine is that?
It was like it wasn't a sample, it was like a production station. Like let's say the early days of like, the MPCs and all that.
Okay,
Like early days. It's a Boss. It was called Boss DR Doctor 55 or 505. I
right.
can't remember. That was my first machine
And so that you
in
capture,
1998.
so
Yeah.
that thing would let you capture sounds and manipulate them, or how
Yeah,
would it
you could
work?
produce. It had like sort of like a little keyboard thing, that it told you whether the keys were black or white, and then you had all kinds of patterns
Mm.
and sounds and shit. So I used to start making melodies with that and creating my own beat patterns, learning how to mold it.
So hold up, you're learning how to make beats in like the early '90s over here.
Yeah.
That's
I started, like I told you, 98, 98,
okay, late
99. I bought
'90s.
my first
My bad,
machine.
late '90s. But still, late '90s is
Yeah.
still pretty early on, and it was just because you saw Cypress Hill, got inspired, and then started getting into music on your
Yeah, because
own.
as soon as I saw Cypress and all them, the Wu-Tang, of course, and, Black Moon and Tribe Called Quest, and I can go on, right? We know them all. But as soon as I heard that 90s sound at the early beginning, 92, 93, like the golden era, like starting of that era, I got hooked on right away.
And
Me
like,
and my boy used to go to HMV and just like listen to records all day long, skip school just to do that,
mm,
just to put on the little headphones in the corner there. You could give them CDs and they would play them for you. And they had like five or six of them. We used to
oh
stay
shit,
there
I
like
forgot
four
about
periods
that.
straight. Yeah, man, St. Catherine's, that big HMV they had. You could
Mm,
go downstairs and they played your CDs. You could sit down. It was like a little bar thing. It was super cool, man.
yeah,
So
that's.
yeah, that got me in right away.
And so, like, did you know anybody
Knowing
else
who produced
here?
what.
Like, did you
The
know
what?
other people here that got you inspired? Like, was there anyone that like pointed you in the right direction, or did you just kind of figure it out on your own?
No, I think afterwards I had some problems in Sec 5 last year of high school, and I went to live with my sister in Quebec City, and I met some French dudes that were doing French rap over there. They had a
Mm.
DJ. They were all really organized. They were beat making. They had shows and stuff like that. And I was friends with the DJ, so right away I I caught on right away. Although they were doing French, I was still writing my own little things, but I was always there.
Yeah, so you got to
A lot of
see
these
by
dudes
example what it
nowadays are
looks like.
still doing music. Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's when it really happened. That was 96. Then I
Okay.
came back from 96 from Quebec City, and that's when I told you like I was out. I wanted to make beats to go with these little poetic rhymes that I had, like there are sometimes 8 bars, sometimes 4 bars. They're just these little things I had written and I wanted to spit them, so I wanted to make my beats. Because the only beats that I had was like the instrumentals from like, the 12-inch, the singles from, Mob Deep and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, where they would like
And
leave
I used to
the
just,
instrumental parts,
yeah,
and you could, yeah.
side B and yeah, record myself and tape deck, a voice on one, the beat on the other, and so on and so forth. And then, like I told you, I bought my first machine and kicked it from there. And then met some dudes later on from, we created Metazon. I don't know if you know Metazon from Montreal.
Nah, that's
It
part of
was
why I'm doing this, just trying to
yeah,
learn all the people.
yeah. Well, it's some people, like the connoisseurs of that era know
Okay.
what we did back then, but we were like a one big group, like 6 dudes, two producers. I
Who
was one of them, one of the main ones.
who was in
And
the
then there
group?
was Cristobal. Sorry?
Who else was in the group?
There was Kotola, who actually makes still beats nowadays and videos. There was Beyonda. There was Optima. There was Megalito. There was a bunch of us, man. There was a bunch of us. And that's from there, when I quit the band and I wanted to do my own thing, that's when I went full on Lobo, which Lobo means wolf, by the way, which is my last name.
Mm.
Lobo means a wolf. Yeah.
So how long were you
So
in
and then
this?
I
How long were you in the group for?
I was in we were in the band for I would say like 2 years. I lasted with him. We did a bunch of shows. We went all the way to the CMW in Toronto.
Okay.
Met Chaos and all them dudes back in the days, the Rascals and all that.
Was it like meeting those guys?
It was cool, man. But it was like they're there because of the show, right? CMW was like, the conference. So they would invite, like unknown bands to do their thing and get a chance to promote and, market their CDs and, what they were doing. So that's what we did. Those guys were in the crowd, man. It was super cool. We actually talked to Chaos, who was actually dopest dude ever, man.
So
He was
that's a you said that was
totally,
a conference.
yeah, the CMW was the Canadian Music Week. That was back in 2001 or two, if I'm not mistaken, from my memory lacks sometimes.
That's super
Yeah,
nifty.
we did that.
I've heard a lot
Yeah, we were
about these
invited.
conference things, and I don't know if they still happen, but since I've been around, I haven't heard of any
They
of them.
probably don't like they used to, because back in the days, the internet, we didn't have no social media, you didn't have no platform where you could
Mm,
actually promote yourself. So everybody was at those places, like bands and groups and rappers and rockers and, singers and all writers. They're all there.
it's got to be
We met
value in this
a whole
shit.
bunch of people
Because
from all walks of
like
life.
Scribble Jam and shit like that effectively was
Yeah,
working out into being these kind of conference type events, even if they were still shows. And like, as I've talked to different people from different areas, the people who went to these conference things all across the board, like, bro, that shit was real networking. You don't even know who you were gonna
yeah,
end
that's
up
what
in
it
the
was.
cipher was. You don't even know. And that's where all the
You don't
great
even
moments
know.
were there. And now it's like all online, and you're lucky to like talk to anybody in real life anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, eh? That contact, that face to face, era, it's gone. That's the reason why maybe we have more bands and more groups and more artists than what we think we have, because we're always looking at the same dudes, right? And then you find out there's like 50 cats in your neighborhood that do rap and make beats
I
and
know there are now.
nowadays.
I have 403 English Montreal rappers on a list so far. I've been like actively because of that conversation. I was like, how many? And none of us can put a number on that. That's a
Right?
wild thing.
Which is a good thing in a way. That means, like, art has evolved in a way when it's a everyday life thing for people now, like their parents were probably like how I'm talking about my parents and how I'm with my kids because I play music at the house all the time, a variety of diversity from one thing to the next. So I'm pretty sure that's that generation,
But
they
also, like, so I talked to a few like young ones, like 17 to 20 type era, and let's say in 2012 ish, when I'm getting all serious in YouTube and learning, they're doing the same thing. But they're at
yeah,
that age, and so we all kind of, as
yeah,
of like that YouTube equalization, the entire indie
right,
scene lost its age gap. It's like
totally.
everybody comes in at that point, no matter how old you are, and it's weird because the gatekeeping changed. I don't really understand the full way it plays out now, but
Yeah.
it's absolutely different now that like the 12-year-olds, because these kids would be like 12 telling me about how they're learning how to use Pro Tools off of YouTube.
Yeah, man. These little wizards.
And you're like, I had to
The
do this with
age
an
of
actual
technology has
physical
surpassed.
machine.
Yeah, exactly. Hardware, that you had to learn it and press two buttons to make one thing make the other and edit, with little knobs and shit, Yeah. But that's the thing, eh? Like quality over quantity, right? Simple as that's how I see it. Yeah, we
Mm.
got a whole bunch of kids that are into rapping now and a whole bunch of groups that are into being, that they're out there, there's a whole bunch, but what's the quality and all that? Not a lot of them really want to do music. It's just because it's popular now. It's cool back in the days, it was like because you were good at it. It was something unique. You something inspired you. Nowadays, like you know, my daughter might be rapping next week.
Yeah.
She thinks it's cool. Yeah, exactly.
I will
It's cool, and
say,
her friends say it's cool.
thankfully, there are a lot of people in this city that really are doing it for the passion of it and really care. They might not all be,
Absolutely.
they might not be everybody's favorite sound, and not everybody might agree on the quality level of everybody. I'm
No,
gonna throw that
absolutely.
out there, but a lot of people care. A lot of people I think Montreal's a hornier city than anybody want to admit. That's my analysis because I have a playlist now. I hit shuffle sometimes, and Montreal's really horny. That's my synopsis.
Yes, it is.
Like that's
It's a
the.
melting pot. It has so much of everything
But
that
when you listen to the music, man, it's like the dudes be like either smashing, trying to smash, or heartbroken. The girls be all about guys
Yes,
or
it is,
rapping
man.
about the power of their pussy, right? Like, and then I realized the whole city's obsessed with the P, and then
Yeah, man.
the whole city, and I'm like,
Yeah, man.
damn, I'm like, wow, like, and I don't think we're aware of it. So nobody's really like playing to it with marketing or anything. We're all just trying to be like,
Right.
and I don't think anyone's aware of that yet. That everybody in this city's low key trying to do love shit.
Everybody's trying to fuck each other.
And then like then there is stuff
And over.
like you guys where it feels more like different vibes. Don't get me wrong. There's still a good 15-20% of people that are absolutely stand out doing different shits in different lanes. So like I don't want to diminish everybody or even claim that I know
Right.
of everybody. Fuck me, is everybody horny from what I could tell.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if
The
that's cool,
sex
bro.
sells, man. Listen, sex doesn't only sell for the people that are on top, like for known artists, but it sells for
Mm.
it sells individually, like personally, like it's easier to talk about, tits, ass, and sexual, shit that it is to really talk about like real life things. Because unless you're not living it, then it's much easier to go towards, what everybody could do, which is
Say a word. I
have
think you
sex.
just touched on a really interesting point. Because like one of my theories is a lot of people don't live interesting lives, so it's hard to like tap
They look
into.
for they look for interesting lives, exactly.
And then most of us can have interesting sex though.
Exactly. Most of us, exactly. Most of us. And
Fair.
probably this generation even more,
Absolutely. Like
like the newer generation's even crazier,
I feel like we had to do like phone calls and shit. Yo, what's up, Punky Pirate? We had to do like phone calls and shit to impress girls back in the day. Now
Yeah,
it's all
man.
about emoji game. I don't even know emoji
That's all it
game.
is. You feel like it? Yes, I do. Well, I feel like it too. Well, let's do it. Cool. Boom, bam, ciao.
Yeah, no, that was not my
I
high
mean, I
school.
can imagine. I have no idea. I'm completely lost in this
I'm gonna
new.
argue that it's probably like not as that as we think, but like for the people that are down, it is that much easier.
Right. It's much easier. Absolutely. Well, if you look at the new generation too, I mean, like back in the days, I don't know about you. That was one thing I noticed. There weren't too many like say like good looking people. There was a few, like back in the days, the blondes were the oh shit, like
I think
and the
it's a
dudes
lot
that were,
of
the,
so I think okay, so what I think is, and I think about this a lot because I went to New York City recently, and I had this realization. I didn't really look at girls for like a week. And I'm like, that never happens in Montreal. Why? Like, and it can't really just be like whatever. I think Montreal has this undertone of competitive hotness going. I don't know how else to put it, but like
totally,
it's
man,
almost like people
totally.
and even dudes, like let's be real, like it was made
Yeah, man,
abundantly clear to me
absolutely.
I can never go out really wearing oversized shit no more. I lost a lot of weight, nothing fits. I got to go drop new money on clothes. We're going back to the office. Think, like, and you have to because Montreal's a really vain city like that. So I think what ended
Right.
up happening is along the way we all just it's just like that. People try a lot harder here than they might in other places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the new generation. They're gorgeous. Like what a beautiful generation, to be honest with you. Like I look at my daughters and I look at people
Mm-hmm.
at her school, and I'm like, God damn. I
Well, we
mean,
also
everybody
have
looks
good
good,
dairy and like meat standards compared to,
Yeah,
to the rest of the
exactly.
continent. To be honest, that might be part of it. I was thinking about that too. What if it's like that? Like, cause I don't know if you like all the fast food restaurants struggle to get into Quebec because we have good meat standards and good dairy standards and shit.
Right. Exactly.
Imagine it
Who
makes a
knows?
difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be in the food, eh? You are what you eat, I guess.
And we got like free
If you put it
healthcare.
that way.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. Free shitty
but
healthcare, yeah. But
I
we're not gonna get into
oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I had to go to the ER the other day, and I was the lowest priority person, and I know that because I was the last one there at 5 in the morning.
that. I can
At
imagine.
least it was
Been there
free.
too. Yes.
At least it was free. I mean, it's
Yeah,
because it's
that's
like
what we get.
it's a little comforting to know you're the lowest priority person in the ER. A little, a little. So yeah.
Yeah,
So basically, you left that group and you become Mr. Lobo, and this is like the early 2000s.
yeah, exactly.
And you at this point, you have some performing experience. You've gone in a bunch of
Oh
shows.
yeah, I perform all over the place, bro. From New York to all the way down south, Costa Rica,
Hold on, you guys went to like
Toronto.
Costa
I
Rica?
went to Costa
Or
Rica.
just you?
Yeah, yeah, just me.
And that's like as Lobo or with the group?
Yeah, as Lobo. I went as Lobo, opened up for a few bands over there,
And
some
at this time,
high-end groups from Spain.
you're rapping and producing, right?
I'm rapping and producing exactly.
And is it?
But then that was a moment in my life where I started making a little hotter music, integrating more Latin sounds into my shit. You know, reggaeton was coming out really
Mm,
strong at that time. I never really, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it because I'm not gonna diss on no style because every style has its own thing, right? But it influenced me in a way that, yeah, I'm Latino. I should, do something with it. It's the thing of the hour. So yeah, I did take some beats, flip them my way, if you want to call it that, and made some more hot shit, let's say for radio friendly crap, just to get it out there and perform and do my things, right? But as soon as I came back from Costa Rica, I was like, yo, I don't like this. I
I mean,
didn't like that. I mean, it's not me. I got to go back to my roots. And that's when I started making beats and I met Heavy from 999 Official. By the way, I'm only one half of
yeah,
999 Official. Heavy's not here, unfortunately, due to conflicting schedules. But
right.
yeah, like that's when I met Heavy and
Hold on. So,
shit
so you
changed.
basically made pop music against your wishes, and you were
Oh yeah.
rewarded by going to Costa Rica and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why I stayed. I went for 2 weeks and I stayed 6 months.
It's been six. What's it like in Costa Rica?
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, back then, imagine this is 2000, 2004. This is 2004. After like a few years of hustling, like trying to get my music out there, performing my stuff, having a few small EPs here and there, always a little rugged, and then getting that opportunity to go to Costa Rica and do some things, and I flipped my shit completely like 180 for like 2 3 months right before going to be in that mood because they were telling me, yo, down here it's hot and we're going to send you down to the beaches where people come from all over, from Sweden, from Germany, and they want to hear that, dance and shit. They're not going to want to hear about your life struggles in the streets of Montreal. They want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. So that's when I started, doing some, like you say, some pop. Basically, yeah, man, pop.
I mean,
Simple as that.
I mean,
Pop rap.
I respect the fact that you can do pop rap because there's a lot of underground dudes that claim they can do pop rap until the moment comes, and then they have a lot of trouble
Oh
finding
man.
that part of them. But I mean, that sounds like a worth it experience. Like,
Right. No, absolutely. Well, it was easy for me to be honest with you. That pop shit, writing those choruses and those bars and all that stuff, it was really easy for me because, like I told you, I came from a background where,
mm,
like dancing music in the house, parties, 50 people in an apartment, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, people dancing, you have that. That was the music of choice, the dancing music, So it was easy for me to, like, once again, like I told you before, pinpoint things that, you have to have a good chorus, it has to have a catchy melody, and the rhythm has to be a little faster than what your regular Wu-Tang beats might be.
right.
So
And so,
it wasn't too hard for me. That was the easy part.
and there's a lot of partying. Is that the vibe down there? Like,
A lot of partying, man. A lot of partying, yeah. But Costa Rica is a different place, man. It's like a sort of like a Montreal in Central America, right?
right.
Because you get people from all walks of life there. Like I said, I met Germans, Sweden, people from Sweden, French people, people from Montreal, people from all over, and there's people that live there that come from all over the place. So yeah, I was with the Costa Rican people, but I was also surrounded by a whole bunch of other, people from all over. It was pretty dope. It was dope.
It must be like a good experience, right? Because like I find not everyone travels, right? And
Right,
the lack of traveling kind of makes it harder to be broad with your art. I find.
right.
You gotta almost say like you probably want to travel if you want to get out there. Like not, it's not like a requirement, but like at a certain age, you kind of want to travel to just to get the experiences in because it's gonna help you
Yeah,
with that
man.
shit. So to be able to like be exposed to so many parts of the world and expats, and I think that's the term for people that go to other countries like that from all this, that must be
Right.
wild because those are like alternative people all over. On top of that, they're not even like your average people
Exactly.
that end up there. That must have been fun.
Exactly.
Did you end up
Yeah,
doing any
it was awesome.
like music videos or anything back then, or is video technology still too expensive
Ah,
then?
man. To be honest with you, the videos I got in by making my own videos,
Mm,
like recently, you know, that's when I started getting in. And I'm talking to you, I've been in the music for, well, been in it. I've been making music since 98,
right.
98, 99, early 99 till now. So we're talking over 20 years, you know.
And those were the
But
first
in
starts.
those 20 years, yeah, we did have a lot of propositions for making videos. But I mean, back in the days, man, making a video, you don't hear none of this like 2,000 grand. Like now, back in the days, making videos was like six, seven, 8,000.
Mm.
You know, the real cameras, you know, the lighting guy, the this, the that, the girl for the makeup, and all that. It's no joke. So a lot of that, I think, you know, a lot of that side of the music industry here in Montreal, a lot of people were like, fuck it, we're doing shows. That's how we're, you know, and from the shows, yeah, you would get the videos from that, right? You know, like the live performances, which is what helped a lot of artists from here
But that explains a
back
whole
in the
bunch
days.
actually, because like there's not that many videos before like
No,
I guess Noise Labs or what's his name uh
yeah, Labnoise did our first
Labnoise.
video.
Like when he comes in, it seems to be around when the beginning of like videos start to appear when you do your YouTube
Yeah, man,
searching.
they're dope, man. Labnoise was dope.
Yeah, no.
I heard that. I think they're working on new stuff. I'm not sure if I heard that, but Labnoise was like the crew to go to for your video in Montreal.
If you check their YouTube channel, there's stuff. Like it never stopped or like releasing things. Like
Yeah,
there's still a presence. I don't fully know what they're up to now, but they're a treasure trove of like Montreal history that a lot of us should probably spend more
yeah,
time looking into.
absolutely. Yeah, there's gems in there, man. I mean, just for the intention, right, and for what it is, you know, because you can't compare yourself. Of course, if you start comparing to videos in New York, early '90s and '80s, yeah, man. But I mean, that was a massive thing happening. That was a movement. Montreal took a while before there was actually a movement. And I
Right.
still think it's taking too much time for the movement to actually, you know, like I think that wheel is still like slowly turning
It's
with
slowly
weight
turning.
on it.
It's turning
Yeah,
though.
it's slowly
It is
turning.
turning though.
No, it's turning. It's turning. Yeah, it's turning. It's turning. A lot of you hear a lot of, you know, bands and groups and artists that are popping out here and there and doing stuff elsewhere. But that's the thing, you know, like a lot of the dudes that make it from Montreal that are from Montreal, they made it somewhere else.
And they
You
don't.
know, they went out of the city. You know,
So I mean, I'm okay with that as an idea, right? Because even Drake had to go to Miami and shit, right? Like,
yeah, exactly,
but Drake went back, and
absolutely,
and I
totally,
and
yeah,
I'm not one to like say anything about anybody's career. I don't know the fucking details of anything, but I'm not aware of anybody that really popped somewhere else and came back and then invested in the ecosystem heavy. I'm not. I might be wrong, and if there was somebody, I would love to know who it is. So, because that would be really cool.
I
And
agree,
and that
I totally agree,
and so I just like I say it like this because sometimes I say shit like this more in a nah it doesn't exist and then I'm wrong and that's another part of it, which is half the reason the show
right,
exists is because like yo I'm in my 30s and let's be real I didn't know who the fuck what's his name Don Smooth was until 2021, like or 2020. Like I didn't know who
right,
anybody was, so I don't know any part of the culture, the history, and this is me trying to like document that in a sense. So at least it's there, whoever ends up watching it, and at least I can know it then.
right,
So it's like to me amazing that you were like just part of the 2000s wave because like really there is no anything that I'm doing in the 2010s, however little it was, if it wasn't for all of the pillars you guys put together when there was nobody else doing it.
right. Yeah, there was very few of us, but the quality back then was sick, man. I mean, the people that were doing, you know, I don't know if you remember Magnum 357 or Magnum 57. Remember that
I know
dude?
Magnum.
I don't know where he's at now, but he was
Oh,
sick, man.
he's got an EP or something that is ready. From what I hear, it's ready. Somebody with numbers in the name of the beat maker that he works with. He's the one who made the beats, 80 something or I don't remember.
Okay.
80 Rock maybe. It's one of those dudes made all the beats, and apparently from everybody I know who's heard it, it's like the illest shit ever. And then I don't know what happened with it. I actually talked to him in an IG chat at one point when he was considering releasing it about a year ago, and then it didn't happen, so I don't know what happened.
Right.
But yeah,
Heavyweights. Facts.
I then looked into a lot of his music, and yeah, okay, he'd be like actually having the videos in 2005.
Yeah, man. Block Mode. I don't know if you know the dudes from Block
So I
Mode,
do know Block
the
Mode
Fields
a
brothers.
little bit.
Yeah. Well, Heavy's from Block Mode.
I heard the Block Mode all over the project. So for me, I know
Yeah, man.
this guy Spades, and I was rolling with him for a minute, and then he set up some shows, and Widget was there. So I ended up meeting,
Widget. Yeah, Widget's my man. Widget is Heavy's brother.
which is
So
fire. So I knew who like Heavy was in virtue of the name, and it clicked when I saw. I'm like, oh shit, that dude, because like I know who Widget is,
yeah,
and I know how significant Block Mode is. At least I think it's LaSalle where they were at. I might be wrong,
yeah, exactly.
and I know a
Yeah,
few
what's
people
up?
have been like, nah, bro, when Block Mode came through and when Widget dropped the first fucking English hip hop I'd ever heard that was local type things were said
Oh
about them.
man, these guys are crazy. And their older brother Jungle. Yo,
Mm.
oof. I mean Jungle, aka King Jung. Forget
He's
about it,
I
man.
didn't know I did not know he was their brother, but he's pretty fucking great
Yeah, man.
too. I've like been
He's
put on to
great,
him as well.
man. You listen to him, you're not thinking Montreal whatsoever. This guy's out of the box completely. This guy's like from anywhere and everywhere. You know, his music could play anywhere. While Widget has that, that rugged street, knowledgeful wisdom,
Mm.
heavy. Well, heavy's heavy, heavy does anything. That's the thing with heavy.
I was really
That's what me and
impressed by
Heavy
him.
did. That's how we became brothers in this shit because like I'm so versatile in my likings of music and inspirations that could would have been hard for me to just be with some make some music with somebody that's just like, yo, let's make some killer ghetto street shit, make you want to get out of a car and kill somebody type music. It would have been hard for me because I go through phases, just like music, like music for the moments, music for the mood. I'm
Mm.
I'm I'm all for the mood, so it would have been hard for me to be like with somebody that's just like unique in that sense that that's what he does. And Heavy's like Heavy could go from rapping hardcore shit to rapping on soca, on dance hall. We have some dance halls, imagine, but dark dance halls. It's not like that typical, commercial shit. But I mean, we got all kinds. That's the thing. That's how come me and him we click together like that. We form like like Legos.
And you said you guys linked up back when you got back from Costa Rica in like
Yeah. As soon
2004
as I got back from
or
Costa Rica, I
5
had to get a
ish.
job, start working. And I met him at a place where we were working at, and we kicked it off from there, man, nonstop till today.
So you guys have been making
Yeah,
music for the last 15, 17 years or so?
17, yeah, for the 17 years.
Okay, so
Of course, in between there, stories, shit in there, kids and life and whatnot, and a few years apart here and there, situations and whatnot. But yeah, man, we never stopped.
you guys were then all part of that like era of 2008ish, let's say, and
Yeah,
all of that. Can you like
yeah,
just kind of walk us through a bit, what it's like to be in that era, some of the moments you remember? Because believe it or not, a lot of people I talk to, and this is a no disrespect statement, have the same general thing. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff happened, but I was real drunk and I barely remember any of it. So actually
yeah, man.
pinpointing what's going on is a hard thing to
Yeah.
do.
Well, to be honest with you, when you said 2008, 2009, I stopped 2009 making music completely
Mm,
due to certain things that were happening in my life, and I stopped completely. And to be honest with you, I think I just got back to it for the past 3 years now.
okay. So like
It's just recently that I got back to it. And that era, like you said, from the 2004s to 2008, I mean, wow. I mean, just the opportunity of doing so many shows, so many clubs, some appearances, radio appearances, featuring on other people's albums, going to the studio. It's almost like you didn't even want to like, or even have the need in your brain to like, am I going to make it? Because that felt like you were doing it. You didn't have to make it. You didn't have to see the money come in the bank to feel like you were making music. Because that's the first thing. For me, that was the first thing.
Mm,
I need to feel like I'm making it. How? By making music. So I'm going to the studio. So I'm producing at home. So I'm getting together with, heavy and writing and composing and making a song, because it's easy to make a beat, but to make a song, it's a completely different thing, right?
right.
To compose a song, to find a chorus that goes with it, to chop it up, edit it, to have a follow through. So
No, I,
that was that era for us. That era, like you said, 2004 to 2008. That's what it was like. It was a show every other weekend. It was, appearances on other people's albums, going to studio writing, countless hours of having ciphers and meeting other dudes that were like, "Oh, I heard you. You're crazy. Why don't you come by? Me and the boys are gonna go to this cribs and they're gonna do like a pass the mic shit and shit like that.
yeah,
It was
that's
sick. It was actually awesome.
that sounds pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. I performed a decent amount, but it was never like it was like at least once a month is more like the flex I was on. I could never like it never really picked up to like
Right,
that kind of pace because I'm not gonna say the pay to play was the only reason, but the pay to play seemed to be all
right,
I could find, and I was like, nah,
right.
I'm kind of old. I can't sell. I can't. I
Fuck,
st-
if you're old,
no, but I started at 25. And I can tell you one thing about trying to sell tickets to a show that's Thursday night at 11 p.m. to your office colleagues on a it's good fucking luck.
uh,
It's not happening.
yeah, good luck.
And then
Yep.
nobody there were no 7 p.m. shows because nightlife.
Nah, man.
So it was like good luck. You have it's almost like you
Yeah.
had to be young a little bit or have a lifestyle that allowed you to be up late with people that were up
Yeah.
late to pull that off.
That was a lifestyle back then, to be honest with you. That whole period was like clubbing and going out, and since I got a big mouth, I met a lot of people that were like, "Hey, oh yeah, you told me you rap. Well, I got a bar. Well, I got a restaurant. I got this. I do DJ on Friday nights at the Dome, or here or there." And that's how it all came, because to be honest with you, we never really promoted a show for us, you know, and we weren't even called 999 official back then. It was just like Heavy and Lobo, or Mr. Wolf. They used to call me, whatever. We never really put a name to it, and we were just getting invited. We never really like, okay, we're gonna do our show. We're gonna have an EP release, and this is the show, and these are the tickets, and this is our opening act. Nah, man, we were like either the opening act or we were like the act at the end that close the show, or we were in between, or we were just we'll give you 5 minutes to do a track. And then if there's an encore, and of course there was an encore all the time, and well, let's do it again and come back next week. It went from one thing to the next, right? And then I started having babies, and hip hop wasn't paying no bills, Hip hop wasn't paying no bills whatsoever back in
Mm,
those days. The most I think we ever got for a show was maybe like $300, and that's because we hustled it.
yeah, I
That was the most I think. Even in Costa Rica, I never got paid a penny, and I did like full stadiums with like 15,000 people. I never got a penny off of that.
what's it like to do?
Yeah, man,
Is it like
that was sick, crazy.
is it like nervous
That
or do
was
you just like
crazy.
get lost in it?
Well, I don't know if I mean I guess like every other artist, we get that two fractions of a second right before the stage. You get that stage fright shit, and but as soon as I go on, like I'm in a mode. Like I don't feel no, I feel nothing but the music. Like I'm in a mode. I go into character, let's say.
Yeah.
And the 15,000 people was, I guess, the same thing. Was just afterwards that I was like, shit. There was there was 15,000 people with their lighters up. Like, god damn, well, that's crazy.
That is
Like
crazy.
the shock.
Well, that's Bell Center numbers.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. I opened up for this well-known Chilean rock band, and through them, and that's why I went the first time. That's the reason why I went to Costa Rica. And then some producers from over there noticed me and said, "Hey, man, you're at a rock show and you're doing some rap shit, and you look like a rapper or whatever." Because I had long hair and I used to braid them, whatever. And like, well, you want to do some more shows because we'll hire you. So I ended up staying. I was going there for 2 weeks. I was just going to go there for doing that show that first week. Then I had a little presentation on the radio, and then I was coming back. And then they hired me. And then I was opening for this guy who won like the American Idol in Spain called David Bisbal. who's like a Spanish pretty boy, pop rock shit, whatever. And it was like, can you open for this guy? Do you have something? So of course I had my little hot, like I told you, those little hot commercial songs on the side, and that's what I did. And so actually, I did two shows. I'm lying to you. The first show I did was like maybe 10, 12,000 people for the Chilean rock band. And then for that, dude, the stadium was complete, like full complete. And if I'm not mistaken, that stadium held about like 20, 30. So there must have been like maybe 18, 16,000 people from what I remember. That was pretty dope, man. That was the
It's
first time. And
definitely dope.
I was the opening act. I was the opening act. So I had like my 15 minutes of fame, you know,
Almost quite literally.
and this guy's crowd was all like, teenagers, a bunch of girls and preppy pretty boys, so when they saw me come out and rapping and doing all that, was crazy, man. It was sick. Yeah, it was an experience in itself.
And like, were they like into it?
They were into it, but I was, I did my hot shit, but I was so hardcore at that time. They used to call me back here in Montreal like the Latino DMX,
Mm.
He's like the Latin DMX, because I in my lyrics I used to mix a lot of Spanish with English, and I have that deep voice, like when DMX used to do whatever, and that's how I used to rap when I used to do live shows. It used to come out really grungy and hardcore. So in the newspapers and the clip-ins, which I still have, it was written, Lobo came out with like this ferocious act and violent, and people were shocked, and which they loved it. Because then I got a whole bunch of other gigs, which led for me to stay. Like I told you, I stayed for like 6 months over there, bro.
That's
I went for
incredible.
2 weeks and stayed 6 months. Yeah.
Nah, that's a great experience. I don't know, like, because people act like nobody here ever had experiences like that sometimes. And
Well, it's not to brag, I mean, it's a moment in time and a moment in my life, which I appreciated, and it was what
well,
it
let
is
me
what it
like
is, but it
reframe it.
was what it
It's in the
was.
same way where you saw Cypress Hill, and it inspired you to like rap in the same way,
Yeah, man.
knowing that you got to go rock sets in Costa Rica, you could even flip up your sound but still stay pure to yourself and get opportunities and shit. That's inspiring to know that people
Yeah,
from here can go
yeah.
do things.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I inspired myself. You're absolutely right on that. I came back and I was like, okay, I got to do this shit. I got to do this, but I got to flip it because I don't want to do this hot shit. I don't want to do that. I don't need to be prettied up and having produced and tell me, oh, you need to shave and why don't you, instead of coming out braided, why don't you let your hair loose and ponytail? And nah, man, I was like, I can't have that, and I wasn't taking that. And to be pure to myself and to be honest with myself, I was like, I need to go back to my roots,
Mm.
go back to my '90s era type thing. And that's when I met Heavy and started making beats and stuff for the streets. And like I told you, the rest is pretty much history for now.
So then,
Our history.
yeah, you're going through the whole part with kids and stuff, and music's not a priority, and you're just kind of working and being a dad and all that stuff. I guess you're like kind of out of the scene at
Yeah.
this
Still
point.
producing, still making beats at night,
Right.
you know, staying late up night trying to figure out a new sound because everything was changing, man. By then, trap was coming in, old school was down. Everything had a melody, Ja Rule was, shit like that, it was that was the in shit and trap coming in plus changing the whole scene, and I was still making, my dirty 90s sample beats, which I don't use a lot, by the way. I don't like to sample too much. I really like to produce and make it sound like it's a sample.
Mm.
But I really needed to go back to that, and every night producing, while having kids, and then Heavy moved to Toronto, so I lost him for like 4 years into this, which for me was like a complete like, ah, shit, like he was like the main rapper because I had become like my real passion is producing.
Right.
Yeah, I could rhyme, I could perform. That's it's second nature. It's an extension of myself. But producing is really what, like I dream about things like that, like I'm driving and I hear sounds and I go back home and I produce them, that's how I am. So production, like I told you before, like separating sounds and all that, that's the thing for me, so my real passion. And as soon as it Heavy, like early 2010s, he went to Toronto, that was like, oh shit, the fuck am I gonna do now? Because I don't want to rap anymore.
Mm.
Like you got all these guys right now with these freestylers and King of the Dot and this and that. Everybody's a crazy lyricist. They'll kill me in 2 seconds, but on my beat thing, like
That's an
I pretty
interesting
much,
point that you just said. So King of the Dot starts popping off then, and now you got everybody
yeah,
exposed to top tier battle rap lyricism. Do you
yeah,
think that
all
that
these
had an impact?
crazy lyricists. Yeah, it had a huge impact, to be honest with you, on me at least, because I used to watch those things like
So I'm
on a
gonna
binge.
I'm gonna assume that if it had an impact on you, it didn't just have an impact on you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Cause
I get it.
here's why I say it. I didn't know fuck all about battle rap. I started doing this shit, and then next thing you know, I got to talk to Iron Solomon, Poison Pen, a few other names like that. I'm not trying to name drop. It's just like I started talking to like the elites of battle rap and
That's
going
awesome.
through their pen game and having to like do homework on them like the week before talking to them and shit.
Right.
And then I started listening to Mans on tracks doing tough raps, and it's like, nah, honestly, after battle rap, it's a little bit harder to like go back to certain kinds of songs and listen to them the same because like they're only doing doubles,
Yeah.
and battle rap's doing doubles to the YouTube audience and adding a layer for the crowd. Like it's fucking wild
Right.
what they be doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a whole other frame, man. It's another world.
And
But yeah, man, that for me, that and of course all the new shit coming out, all these new cats,
mm,
that were rapping back in the days. For me, it was like Heavy was my inspiration for like actually keep rapping because he's always pushing me till this day. Come on, give me a 16, give me a hot 16, write something, do something. He's always pushing me. But besides that, like I have passion for it because that's where I came from, writing poems and writing my feelings on paper and shit. But my real passion is like creating something out of nothing,
so like,
like putting sounds together and having a vision and
do you
you
still
know
like?
giving it a.
Were you still working on like actual like production machines, or did you upgrade the software at a certain point?
Yeah, upgraded to the computer, of course. Started making the in the box, Cubase, VSTs. I was still using my Insonic, which I still use till this day. My say, Insonic sampler, the ASRX Pro.
Right.
Keyboard, I got the Motif 77 Yamaha Motif, which I still create on that as well. And of course, the VST sounds, but I like to use a little bit of everything.
Right.
So, like I told you, instead of sampling, I would like make it look like it's a sample just because I had all this variety of gear.
Which is a lot more legal.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I like to hide my samples still, and like the samples that I usually use are either very hard to know what it is
Right.
or it sounds like a sample and you think it's a sample and but it's really not.
Fair enough. I just learned a lot about sync. I'm trying to look into sync now, and I'm like, oh, say word. You can't have samples unless you can prove they're not like. You have to prove some
Yeah,
shit to these
exactly.
people.
Yeah, that's a problem. I got flagged a few times, especially for this EP that we just did, Monumental with Hev. I got two, three samples on one track, which is actually crazy. And
One of them's Method
go
Man,
figure,
right?
I didn't get flagged for that. Yeah, for the Method Man track, for the Monumental track, the sample is also Nina Simone.
Mm.
There's Nina Simone in there. There's also Smokey Robinson with the "I don't care what they say
Oh, that's why
about
Lindell
me."
said Smokey before. Okay, that makes sense. Somebody said Smokey in the
Yeah,
chat. It didn't even click.
yeah.
That's wild.
But
Okay.
we didn't get flagged for that.
All I know is I put it on YouTube. This guy Skindy made a bunch of beats with samples. The Lauryn Hill sample didn't get flagged on YouTube. The fucking Led Zeppelin sample didn't get flagged, but this fucking random ass country song got flagged. It's fucking weird. It's
Yeah, because those are the dudes that are actually that put their whole weight and their whole package onto their, knowing that they're not really known artists, while the others, they don't give a shit
hmm.
because they probably know that, yeah, if your dude would get like 3.2 million clicks, they're gonna notice,
And
and now he's
that
gonna
and
get
that
flagged.
then you're gonna go retro. They're like, oh, you can pay us now. Yeah, 50K for that,
Yeah, exactly,
or see you in court.
exactly. But I mean, 3,000 clicks, 50, even 30,000 views, they don't care
No,
about
nobody
that.
cares. They'll
The
claim you.
algorithm is all fucked now.
Algorithms in a
Yeah,
weird
they don't even
place.
get to hear it.
Nah, not
Yeah,
even. There is automated tools if you're like sloppy. That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Oh yeah.
But so how do you guys like end up getting to the point where you reform or re meet up again?
Well, as soon as he Heavy got back from Toronto, I was like, yo, we got to do some. And it was like little by little, of course, like I said, with the fam, he was doing his thing because he's a trainer. He's a personal trainer and a life coach.
Mm,
So he was getting his business out there, getting his clients and everything. I was starting my company, the kids and everything. So it was like, one side of the month we would click, and come up with something, like either it was a beat and I'd give it to him and he would go back home and tell him, write on it or whatnot. And then by the time he came back, I'm up to like 20 beats. So it's like picking which one you want to take home and what do you think we should work on. And it was I would say a good 3 years into it like that, up until like pre-pandemic, like maybe a few months before pandemic, that we were like, okay, wait a minute, this new track, wait, which is called PYP. We had recorded that. We recorded that 2 years ago.
mm,
The PYP track, Play Your Position with Paranoise, which is an awesome, awesome artist. He's
yeah.
actually living in Mexico right now.
Oh, that's wild.
Um, Ricky Ricardo, yeah. Um, and we recorded that pre-pandemic, like maybe 2, 3 months before pandemic hit. And we were like, yo, we got something. And then pandemic hit. And right around that time where they said that nobody could see each other and you can't leave your home and this and that shit. Well, I was going to heavies and we were producing that all night till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Every weekend we would bust out a track completely full done, not chopped, not edited, but just
Right,
fully recorded. The beat is all in there. Now it's just, to do the magic,
right.
chop it up, edit it and everything. So for like, I would say a good 4 or 5 months, we were into it like that, like crazy. And then editing it, mastering it, finding the vision, started doing small little videos. Like on our channel, you could see like 2, 3 of our videos that we actually do our own videos, by the way. So
Right.
we film it and we edit it. And we did Let It Out. I don't know if you saw on our track list that there's one that's called Let It Out. There's a video for it where I actually rap on that one. But that
Yeah,
track,
I did.
that
I
song is
saw
from
that one.
2007.
That's when you're wearing the masks, right?
Yes. Okay, that track is from 2007. And we were like, yo, man, that track is, we never did anything with it. And that was the only track out of that time that still sounds like it's relevant today because of pandemic right now, like let it out, let your shit out, like whatever you got inside, don't holding it in like they're telling us to, like let it out. So it was like a wink for that, like we did it off the bat like that. We did a small video and that was the start. And it's not even on the album. It's just an old track that we decided, oh, we got to bring this one back.
Mm.
It's kind of catchy, has something to it. And from that track on to the next seven others, and then, slowly building. And now I don't know if I'm calling it an EP yet, but now we're working on our next project,
Nice.
and which is totally different from Monumental. Monumental was like the grimy side of us, the street, let's say, like more like sampled beats, like you heard, more of heavy, more hardcore, And on this project coming up, there's no samples. It's all hand produced. It's all a little funkier, I would say. The dudes at the Clash battle, they were calling us, "Oh, you guys are like the outcasts in Montreal," which was kind of funny because we kept telling each other for years, "Oh, we got that little, out of the box type sound. Yeah, we could do the rugged, we could do the grimy beats and all that, and we could rhyme about, guns and and violence and poverty and equality, but we could also do this. And that's the next step right now. This is what we're working on as we speak.
Yeah, Matt.
That's the track we did at the thing that your boy said that we smoked that we didn't though. They were awesome, man. It's just they're different style.
Yeah.
That's all. Maybe that's what's stuck out because we were different.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any of it, so I'm just going off of what Chris Chrome was saying. But how was that Clash thing? I saw that they like really like went all in
That
for
was
that.
awesome, man. Really professional. I really that to be honest with you, like I'm gonna I'm gonna quote you what you said before. It's like like there's people doing things in Montreal and not everybody's watching. You're one of them. Uh, Clash, I would say, these dudes that like holy shit, man, like all these podcasts and all these people doing all these. I don't even know how to put it because I'm not in that world too much. I'm still
I
I'm
think
still in my
well,
'90s shit.
I'm gonna say it's the
But
media sphere. It's a good way to
yeah,
put
yeah,
it.
it's the media sphere exactly. It's the 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 mass, I guess, the mass appeal of it. But
Yo, and shout out them. Like
quality,
they're
man, like
like, cause like I'm not that. I'm like I've never tried to be that fancy with my shit, and I like saw what they've been doing to try to elevate things, and like they've done contests, like they have put up money. They have done a whole, and you know what? Just to give them even bigger props, cause there are certain things that really impressed me. The homeboy Willie Scandals did his music video shoot. So come on through, and he's in the media sphere, right? He's kind of does his Friday night
right,
Twitch thing, so you can send your music to him and
right,
shit. And so I went with the girlfriend, and they went. Jesse and Sean was there, and I had to say, you know what? I respect the fact that on top of all that they're doing, they showed up. They show up to things, and that's fire.
right, exactly.
Cause that's something I
They're fire.
noticed.
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, and their music's good. I really enjoy Smoking Ink. I find that their sound is really good.
Yeah, man, it doesn't sound like it's Montreal. That's the thing. It doesn't look like it's Montreal. It doesn't sound
What
like
does Montreal
I don't say
sound
that
like
in like
though?
dissing Montreal. I just
But like, what does that mean to you? And I'm saying this as a curiosity thing, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what does Montreal sound like as on like a whole other tip, like from a marketing perspective. And
well, I just see Montreal from being from back in the days. I just see everybody trying to copy what's out there. That's why I call it Montreal. And then you
mm,
have because right now of course trap is like huge, right?
I would say
And it's been for a
it's kind
while.
of drills taking over.
Yeah, drill exactly, which I don't know nothing about to be honest with you.
It
I barely listen to all the new music
I
at all.
really kind of
I'm
fucks with
sorry.
the kick. You know, like how so when trap hit, it didn't hit with me nice, and it took me almost like 8 years to get into melodic trap. And now I do like melodic trap. It really is enjoyable for me.
Yes, exactly.
When drill hit, it reminded me of punk music, and I was in from like day one. And then I realized that there's a lot of lore that is real in drill music because drill is like the gun sound shit. And it's like,
Yeah,
man, sometimes it'd be feeling weird to listen to it, realizing that they
yeah.
really sometimes be about it. And like, I'm the whitest corpo type guy. I'm like, that's like fucking hate. I love it all. But holy shit, are the flows fire? They're really into early flows. Like, you know how like it's not offbeat so much as it's like this rush. Like they're coming in before the beat. And it just is this aesthetic I fucking love a lot. And it's even adopted. Like I feel like I'm
Right.
coming in earlier on my flow than I ever was before. Like it's less New York and that's just drill. Like New York's in the pocket in like a way. And that shit is just like
Yeah,
what it is. I almost hear it in New York. And then other people are like not in the pocket like New York, but wanna be, and it's like wild to
exactly.
like see all that like. So to me, I just like where drill goes with it as a sound, and then every city has their own sort of twist on drill
Yeah, exactly.
in the way that I guess other places did. But yeah, most of us shouldn't make drill, is my understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I should not make drill music.
You should come out with your
I do my
shit,
best to. My big thing is work with Montreal. That's my big thing right now. It's like, yo, I don't understand the need for an Amino Domini if you live in this city. In the city of thirsty
Absolutely.
producers. Like, so
True.
I
There's
managed
too
to.
many.
Not only
You
are
don't
there,
need you don't need outside.
not only are there too many, but there are too many that are just as thirsty as the rappers.
Yeah, and they're really good too. Really good.
Probably better than the rappers. And
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I agree.
like our
Totally agree.
plus producers can cross language gaps in ways that rappers struggle to. Do you fuck with the French scene?
I I'm completely lost to be with you. To be honest with you, I have no idea who's doing what. I'm still on
Mm.
I am and stuff shuriken from back in the days from these guys. That's my French connection to hip hop and French. Whatever they're doing here, yes, I know Corias and a bunch of these cats from here. What's this other guy called Loud from Loud Larry, I
Yeah,
think. Loud is pretty big here, like he's huge. Manu Military. I know of. I can't say anything about them, whether they're good or not. The production, I can't really because
it's
I've never
pretty fucking
really.
top tier. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
Right,
I bumped it. I don't even like understand the bars, and I'm feeling it. Like I mean,
right,
I can listen to French rap. I don't get the bars. Like I don't get the doubles and shit. Like they don't connect. So
right.
like, but
No,
listening
they
to
don't
the
connect.
sound quality, like Now Montreal's sound quality is as crisp as you can fucking get. Like you're not like
Yeah, it's crisp. That's
it's
true.
it's as professional as you want it to be. You want a top tier sound,
Absolutely.
it's here. You want a ghetto sound, it's here. You can have all
Yeah,
aesthetics here.
absolutely.
In a way where
Totally agree.
smaller cities actually can't, and Montreal people be kind of whiny in a way that maybe they shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't.
Right.
I'm really just trying to figure out how to get that wheel to go quicker. And so for me, it's like,
Right.
okay, why are people copying beats from like Amino Dominion places when like that's not really putting on for the city? And then everybody be
Right.
like, I don't know what everybody's doing. I know what the circle of people I see do, and often it's a lot of that clout chasey shit, but like the
Right.
indie rapper version, because I don't think the indie rappers are aware there's just like a indie lyrical miracle rapper version of this shit that is the same as all the other ones. And so I
Right.
kind of see that playing out where I think people get really caught up by numbers and are distracted by it. Like, I don't get numbers. I'm not like deterred. Like, this conversation could like solidify a relationship that could go to the next, like that's how I pursue the world right now.
Yeah.
So numbers, man, when Montreal cares, I got the catalog. It's like it's there.
Exactly. It's right there.
But like in the meantime,
Don't need to dig for it. It's right there.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to prove we exist. Like, like you speak of
Yeah.
Outcast, one of my big things is Montreal got something to say like it's Andre back in the day. Cause like we in that place
Yeah.
right
True.
now, like yo, low key, we got the English thing. We could just like talk about Quebec politics more as like a group of English rappers.
Yeah. True.
And
True.
I, I even did a French verse,
But I
bro.
think that's the scare here. The people are scared of being local. I mean, it's cool
Hmm.
to make music because you are local and having that sound. And like you say, nowadays, we don't even need to give excuses for it or justifying it for it. We have a sound here. The sound is crisp. It's good. There's a variety. You can go from, like you said, drill to trap to hardcore, to this and that, right? I just think it's how they portray it. That's my thing.
Yo,
I've always noticed that Montreal always has that same, they want to be super incredibly, hugely artistic. Like everything has all these videos that I see from these French rappers here, they're all the same. I mean, no pun and
I
no
think
disrespect to
that's
nobody.
arguably a thing across the industry now because the ROI on videos is not like next level. However, you guys plugged your merch in your videos, and I was like, hey, they are gonna make some money on
Yeah,
these
yeah,
videos.
yeah,
Respect.
man.
I was
Yeah,
really
we do
into
our
that.
own merch too.
Um, but I noticed that like I know where all of my favorite rappers are from because they told me in their songs, and that's the one thing I can say is like I think, but I also know about random socioeconomic political situations of all kinds of random American people that you would never have cared about except for the fact that rappers rapped about that shit. Like that 90s era was like they rapped about politics in the middle of all that other shit. Like they
Yeah,
wasn't afraid of
and they
that.
were putting cities on the map.
So I'm saying it feels like we got handed the alley oop from life and everybody slept on it.
Yeah,
That's my
absolutely.
perception, like just looking at it. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nobody cared, but I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I know when I tell other people about language laws in Quebec, they're like, what the fuck? And you can just describe
Yeah,
past the
man.
gate, all the shit, and people be
Yeah, there's a
like,
language barrier. Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
and it's a whole culture
Well, I
thing.
mean, yeah, it's a whole culture thing. And when I think of, like you said, yeah, put Montreal on the map, like we know all these old school hip hoppers, we know Compton, we know New York, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx. We know who came from those places. I would have said Bad News Brown was the dude that was going to put this place on the map. Like,
Mm.
I was going to, like seal it. And then unfortunately, passed away, but and that's that to me that when I saw that dude, he was on tour with the Roots. He was doing stuff with like people that most of these guys would, just dream about doing some with, and he was up there with them.
I mean,
He was opening up, I think, with Jay-Z with his harmonica,
I think it
something
was
like that. I don't
Nas. I
remember.
think it was Nas.
Nas. It was Nas, yeah. I mean, come on. He was putting it on the map and look what happened. Like
Sometimes that is how the history plays out. I don't even know how to
Yeah.
like say it, delicately. If
But
that
he
was
was out of
not,
the box.
he
He
was
had his own sound.
honestly. So I've one of my new favorite songs is "Born to Sin" by Bad News Brown, which I didn't really hear until like really listen to till this year or like maybe end of last year, and I'm like, wow, this is like some.
He's dope, man.
So I listened to that whole project he put out, and it's really, really great. Like, it, you know what's crazy is I've been saying for a minute, Montreal really is a more dance-driven electronic sound, and then I listened to the Bad News Brown project with everybody, and it's really that. It's like almost more EDM inspired in some ways than other
Yeah,
things,
man.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, eh? Even Bad News saw this shit coming. Like this is because yo, you know what much.
Yeah, totally.
One thing I think the Montreal hip hop scene does poorly here is forget about the Montreal music scene as a whole. Because like
Exactly.
unlike a lot of other geographies, like we got a lot of music scenes that literally like layer on the same map. Like it's the same venues.
Absolutely.
So like we're not
Yeah.
as geo. It's not like in this hood it's this music. It's more like on Fridays it's punk and on Saturdays it's hip hop and on Tuesdays it's jazz. So like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's not like that everywhere, but I think certain genres like EDM are cool in Montreal and dominating and have global influence, and rappers just slept on all that shit and don't even leverage it one time.
They did. Absolutely.
And I say to this day, like I don't know how many of us are really making any efforts to go to the raves and to go support the really
We
successful
used to.
genre.
I'm telling you right now, we used to. We used to be at all the raves, man, up in Laval and all the raves out here, the Radar One raves. We were performing at all those shits. And then everybody else was like DJs and dancers and dudes
That's
doing
fucking cool.
weird. And we were there. We were there, man, when nobody was. And we were like, oh shit, sort of like frowned upon from like the hip hop scene is like, yo, fuck's wrong with you? But I mean, what do you mean fuck's wrong with me? Music is music. Like they could have called me from for a country festival and I would have said, yeah,
I'd do
because
a
it's
country
music.
festival. I don't know if I'd like the festival as much, to be honest. I'm like, I can listen to country. It's not my favorite by any means.
Exactly. It's listenable, you know.
I
It's a
find
style, it's
it's
a
like
genre.
slow, boring hip hop, to be honest. Like the parallels
Yeah.
between it are a lot,
Yeah. There's big parallels. Yeah, exactly.
but like, yeah, no, I think EDM is dominating our city, and when we go to like talk about the regular people, and I don't know how else to put it, like the people outside the scene. So like, everybody in the scene talks to everybody in the scene, and I think what happens is what I call the stand-up comic problem. Stand-up comics perform to roomfuls of stand-up comics and sharpen their swords with stand-up comics, and then their jokes are so good that nobody else gets them but stand-up comics, so they don't really translate well when I hear the joke. I don't know that it's a good joke, and then I feel stupid, and so I don't find it funny at all usually. I just listen to their words and go, I don't understand how
Yeah.
that's funny. And so
And it dies there. Yeah.
I realized that has a lot to do with the room because comics will be like ROTFLing on that moment. And I realized that there's a level of wit and finesse that comes with technique that only people who even understand the technique can appreciate. So when you get to hip hop land, when the only people you ever rap to are rappers and ciphers and this is and that's, and you don't even realize that your city's at a rave. So you throw your hip hop
Yeah.
show, but you don't even know that there's a rave that night because you're not even watching that scene. And so like this is
Exactly.
where I'm like, yo, there's a big data issue in Montreal in a sense where I think we are all lacking perspective on what's hip. And also the little ones be like wildly into Airbnb parties and shit and not bars. And we be like wildly trying to bring up the fucking dive bar like it's the hottest shit ever for some reason. And I'm like, bro, the dive bar ain't been hot since I was like, I stopped rapping because I stopped doing shows in 2016. I was like, yo, this isn't it. These dive bar like little venues with 43 people in a room, like, it's not that I don't enjoy it, but I was hitting 30, and I'm like, this isn't it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was me, man. That was me at my late 30s, like earlier 30s, sorry, when I started being a dad and the last shows were like that. And I was like, okay, that's it for me.
And I'm
That's it for the shows for me, man.
and it stopped being like fun. And I had a girlfriend,
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
stopped being a place to get laid, possibly, maybe. So all of the fun
Yeah.
reasons to go to a show like that were done, and then like
Yeah.
the internet, this shit started. I've been podcasting now for 5 years. Best decision I ever made for my career. I mean, I have more musical connections because I podcast. I've made more music because I'm a podcaster than I ever did performing, but I still know how to perform should the day come because I did that like circuit before. Like,
That's awesome.
but like, yeah, I don't know. So now I'm looking at the live scene, and I'm like, the only thing I can tell you is that shit got to be like, if you're trying to get 30-year-olds at this shit, Sunday afternoon it, baby.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how.
Totally.
I don't know how else to explain that to concert promoters in the world. If you want old people to come, you've got to change the start time.
Yeah, you gotta change that shit. It died off with me like that. I mean, as soon as I saw, like you said, that 40, 50 people, and that the same time frame, the same everything, it's gone for me, man. There has to be something else. But now, the platform just got huge with the internet and so many, options of how you could live out your performance. Like
Facts,
you could sell your performance.
bro. You could do it on Twitch. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
we'd be looking like I didn't do enough of it, honestly. I kind of loafed on that part because of everything else, but I should have been doing like a weekly fucking performance up my room for like the last. I didn't. It is what it is. I just, whatever. I did record music live, so I tested that. You can record rap live, and I know you can make beats live. And while you're making beats live, if people donate money to
Absolutely.
you, you happen to be monetizing
Yeah,
that part of the process that you would have done anyway,
yeah,
only now you're building fans off of it. So like there's ways like that where I really think it's an influencer market, however you manifest that. There's multiple ways to be an
absolutely.
influencer, but
Yeah, there's a bunch of dudes that do that. I've seen them on YouTube, like these they call them finger producers or whatnot. And they're just while, like you said, they're making the beat while of course, it's a little bit edited and chopped and
yeah,
whatnot, but
I mean,
they're playing it right there.
I
So
got
I
it.
think they're sick,
I mean, look at
sick.
like T-Pain or even Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. He made this whole series over the quarantine called the
Oh,
Quarantine
really?
Tapes, and every Tuesday or whatever, he'd go live and he'd make us something with his audience. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's a beat, and then
That's
he was.
awesome.
So I'm saying this, like, dude, it happened once, but technically I was recording music, and this one guy randomly gives me money. I don't know why, but he's one guy, and I wish there were more of him in the world. But he'll just show up. So I'm recording raps, and technically that day I made like $25 to record rhymes. And I was like, I don't think anyone does that. Who gets paid to record
Right.
bad raps? Because it's not even the good part yet. And they're like, nah. And then I found
Exactly.
out because these people will watch me do the same verse for 37 minutes because I'm one of those guys. I'm not a one shot guy. And then they're like, dude, it's like watching somebody try to land a trick shot. And I'm like, oh my god. And so like the psychology of
Right.
like the fans made it make more sense to me because as artists we're like, who the fuck want to watch that?
Right. Who the fuck? Yeah.
But it's a whole new world, dude. So like I'm not even worried about the live scene, but I think you can blend live with IRL, right? And that's why I say it. I say that shit out loud now, IRL. But like I like so like I have these like you go to a park, let's say, and then you pull up the phone and now you're streaming it. And you got like just
Absolutely.
this is the future to me.
On the spot.
And why not?
Yeah, well, that's what it is, right? Because everybody's got a camera now. Everybody's got a camera. You don't need the $6,000 camera to be filming something or shooting something. I mean, you got your phone.
Nah,
Most phones now are 4K.
absolutely. I've been doing music videos on my phone. Just okay. I'm a bit of a troll with my career. At this point, they told me that mixing and mastering mattered, so I decided to become my own engineer and do a bad job.
Yeah.
I've gotten better, but it's a bad job by any real standards, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter to
No, it
people,
doesn't.
and I was like, wow, people don't care at all.
No, I don't care.
That's
No,
okay.
not
There
anymore.
are a lot of
Exactly.
caveats. If you're making certain kinds of music and like look, I don't expect that music to actually like blow. I'm not going to put YouTube money like we're not pushing that. But from a
Right.
fan perspective, from like, yo, check out my shit to get myself booked somewhere, it didn't matter. None of that shit mattered.
Right.
In fact, I made a
No,
song
it
about
doesn't
pickle
matter.
chips and it became a meme for some people, and I still get tagged on pickle shit. to this day. I got tagged in a pickle thing like 2 days ago, and I'm like, wow. So maybe we all
right?
got it. I don't know. Like you're a mad producer, dude, so you can just make quality happen. But for like a lot of us, quality is
Yeah,
a
but even when I'm
complicated.
making beats, sometimes out of the dumbest shit, like after spending 2 hours trying to come up with something, and then I'll just do this dumb shit, and that dumb shit becomes what it is, and becomes the hottest shit of that night, or that day, and it becomes a track on an album, or it becomes a song with a chorus and everything. You see, for me, I'm one of those producers that I have a hard time like saying, okay, I have a vision for this shit.
Mm.
I got to make this type of beat, and then I'm sitting in front of my gear and shit, and like I told you, it never comes out like that. But then I make something else, but then I get to hate that something else, and then I'm like, oh well, I'll just play around with it. Oh shit, oh, and oh, what if the bass, and then heavy will come in and I'll say a little freestyle or something. That's it. That's the chorus. Boom. Okay, put it down. Chopping. Okay, go. Oh, you're missing a bass. Yeah, you're right. Okay, put the kick. Nah, I don't like that kick. And then like my best beats have always, and especially lately, my best production has been like like almost like cooking in the kitchen and making a catastrophe, out of your food. Like you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I like the
Like you said,
and I like how your stuff kind of you can tell there's a horrorcore theme to it in the overall sound, but it's not like that. It's versatile, but like it's whatever you're doing but spookier.
got it. Well, I try to be honest with you. I try to make music that just the music by itself has a feeling.
Mm.
It has a feeling. So if I would remove the lyrics, it could be a instrumental music. Just like a beat. It doesn't need. That's how I see my beats. Of course, yeah. By producing and making songs, it's different, right? We're working on something, but like I got hundreds of beats that have no lyrics on them. I have no intentions of putting somebody on or having or doing something on. They're just great by themselves, right? It's just the way it's there, I believe in that uniqueness. I believe in the more you try to work on a beat, then that beat doesn't work. If
Mm.
you're working out and you want it to make work, something's missing and it's still not ready, then it'll never be ready.
That's wild, cause
Sometimes like the simplest.
like cause it's for me it's mad different with music, right? Cause I can play bass shittily. I did learn a little bit outside of that, and I guess I
That's
understand,
awesome.
and I suppose shitty beatbox compose and give references with my mouth shittily. But like realistically, I'm more of like, yo, give me a beat, and I don't even give a fuck what you did to it. I don't care about your structure. I could take all of those things. And I'm gonna make songs. Like to challenge myself,
Right.
I did a series called Raps on Everything. I took Sing 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 by Benny Goodman. I wrote a track over that shit. It's two long verses with
Oh
a break in
shit.
the middle. Like that's what I mean. Like for me, it's like a challenge. Like, and I love that shit. And then I found
Right.
out rappers are mad particular, and it's wild to me. But it's like a game. Like yo, and every beat has like a message. I do prefer beats that could be songs on, just from like the sound of it, because like I feel like a beat is like a canvas, but like it's covered in like a foundation. And then as
Yeah.
a rapper, you become or any vocalist really, songwriter, I suppose. That's when it becomes
Right.
a song, according to the fancy
Exactly.
government people. I mean, like SoCan and shit, like that's their distinction. Like
Yeah.
so, like when you come through, it's like okay, there's to me, I see this canvas, and it's like maybe I interpret it wrong and do my own thing with it, because usually I surprise the shit out of the beat makers. But like then I'm just putting touches on that. Like it's like you already put the color, you already said it's red, and I'm just working with that, like, and that's how I see
Exactly. I
all the
get it.
beats
Yeah.
I've ever done. And so it's never been this like process of working on it. Nah, it's cool. Like you already did all that part. I just get to like fucking close it every time.
Exactly. Yeah. I
And
agree.
and
Well, as a producer, you have to you got to let yourself make mistakes while
mm,
making music. Like if you listen to all the greats, most of the greats, all these classic hits of the top dudes, most of those stories are like from mistakes.
mm,
Well, I came into the studio and they were doing that, and then I said this, and then my bass player came in and he was like, "Hey, how?" It's always. I think that's how sometimes music should be. Like Just has to be, at the right moment, at the right time. You can't always push it. And that was the main factor for me because I always push myself. Like I have to make this type of beat. I have to look this type of dude. I have to rap this type, and that's why we were so hard on each other, and nothing was coming out. Like I'm telling you, I've been in the music for like over 20 years, but have you really ever heard of me? No.
Actually,
Like have you really?
when you said Heavy and Lobo, I've heard your name, but it could just be because of the show. So I don't want to act like I heard of you from back then, but I have heard of Heavy and Lobo, at least like the name. Yes, but that's not the best
Probably
example.
from working with Labnoise when we did our first video.
Mm. But yeah,
But yeah, and even that, that was like, oof, that was what? That was 12 years ago. Imagine that. That was 12 years ago, that video. And that sound back then, that funky sound that we had, because it was a funky track, right? It was called Why You Cheating on Me. And there was a whole, you have to go check that out. It's called Insecurity on YouTube. Insecurity by Mr. Wolf and Heavy.
mm.
Not Lobo and Heavy, but Mr. Wolf and Heavy. And that sound, that's what we're trying to not reproduce, but that's the sound that we have when me and Heavy get together and be like, yo, let's create something fresh. Let's not try to go for a sound. Let's produce today something fresh and let's write something fresh. That's the sound that comes out naturally from us.
Mm.
No samples. It sounds kind of funky. You could either swing to it or just listen to the lyrics because there's always a message, right? I like music with messages, with positivity or negativity. It doesn't matter which, because from one comes the other. So that's the sound that we got now. Imagine that, like 12 years later. That was the first time we had done something professionally, like with cameras and lighting and makeup artists. It was pretty dope, man. That was actually, you should check it out. You might have quite of a laugh, at the people in the video, how it was made, what we're doing, the type of track it is. It was pretty dope, man. It was like vanguardist almost, like ahead of our time in a way, because right now that's the sound that we're going for. It's out the box.
I think it's a cool era though. Like now you can make the music you. Well, I mean, if you're trying to go indie and smart with your shit, you can just make what you want to make.
Yeah,
Like you don't.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I believe that I can do what I want with my content because
Absolutely.
I'm one smart marketing decision away from getting that pipeline open. Like
Yeah,
it's all like I chose to deal with Montreal artists and other local people. There are consequences to that choice for algorithmic
yeah,
growth. But
yeah,
the cultural value and my position in the live scene has changed. I know that I have more doors open to me when the world opens up than there was fucking before COVID. I definitely,
yeah.
like, and as I've come to see, it's a lot of a who you know game, a lot more than it's a
No,
how
it
good
is.
you are.
It
Because
is
frankly, everybody can
exactly.
rap good. Maybe not everybody can
Yeah,
rap impressive and like captivate a crowd, but like I've personally seen over 100 dudes in Montreal that can freestyle for probably 10 minutes straight and hold the crowd down if they wanted
yeah,
to. So that means there's a lot more.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. And I know the three best ones are the three brothers that I've been rocking with for the past,
Mm,
years, and that's the Fields, man. The Fields family there. One creative family, man. Like Heavy, like you said, Heavy could go on freestyling for like 20 minutes with his brother, back and forth, nonstop. And that's like a pivotal moment in music where you're like, oh shit, I gotta record this or I gotta make a beat to this. I gotta do something because this is sick. But no, it's just a moment for them. It's
yeah.
just because they could do it. Widget too. Widget's sick, 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 sick MC. Sick. Underrated completely. Completely.
I
And there's
don't
a lot of those dudes like that here.
I
There's
don't
a
know how
lot.
to like talk to them all. Like this is how I look at it. Like from my I'm on the other side. I come in 2012 and I'm an ignorant ass white dude who think he the shit. Had a lot of humbling to do. I didn't even know Rico Blocks was already there doing the exact same thing 8 years. Like none of us knew Rico Blocks was there when we all came in like that, right? So on top of that, like anyway, we all come through and do our shit, and we're just arrogant. But at the same time, unfortunately, a lot of people have occupations where maybe they don't want to be on the Instagram.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
came to realize that a lot of people were also making hella cash selling mixtapes, which none of us know anything about, honestly. I'm used to my little world. And so there's a lot of shit where the internet wasn't appealing. But the downside of that is like none of these dudes really be social mediating. So it's like
No,
hard
I'm
to,
one of them. That's me.
and it's hard to like,
That was me.
it's hard to know anybody. Like, even
Yeah,
doing this list, like some of y'all might be really active, but frankly, if Chris hadn't like gone and seen your shit, you might not have been like on my radar. Just on some, I would have had to stumble
absolutely.
onto
Totally
you.
agree.
And so it's like I don't know how to solve that issue, and that's why I'm hoping, to put work into like shining light on people, like however, whether it's interviews which
Right.
people watch or don't, but it's about getting it. It's about Google really. I want when you Google
Yeah, it is.
Montreal rapper, cool shit to come up, except for that really old list that's really out of date, and that one list which somebody heard me complain about and added names to, so shut out that one person. But like, nah, it's really bad how little effort has ever been put into documenting our city. Not to say there haven't been people, because I don't want to act
No,
like that.
exactly.
But at least in my era of the millennial fucking internet rapper crew, we're not good at it, or we didn't try hard, or I don't know anything about other people doing it. So
Totally
it's
agree.
like we're in our 30s now. That's why I'm a big love to Clash or 514 Online Mix is doing their thing, or even these little ones are doing it, because we sleep on the 20-year-olds way too much too. And there's like a whole new scene that doesn't need us brewing. Like they're like, fuck, I need your interview
Totally.
for, bro. I got my own
They don't
interview.
need the fuck out of us. Yeah, man. They don't need nothing from and through us.
Not in the well,
They just got their own
that's not
little
true.
thing.
They need us to care. Actually,
True.
I would say that would be what
But
they.
we're like the old people, you know. I'm considered like a OG in this, you know. They're like an old dude in this. Not even an OG, just old dude in
If
this.
you came through as an old dude who performed in blah 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 and said, "Bro, that shit's fire," to some kid, you'd fuck him up for a week. You'd be so happy.
Well, to be honest with you, that's how I felt about your boy when he came up to us. Because for sure he was a lot younger than us. I'm in my 40s, to be honest with you.
27. He's 27.
So yeah, there you go. You know, I knew he was a lot younger. The way that he came up to us, I was like, you know, I won't lie. I was like, damn, okay, damn, wow, okay, not expecting that because we might be the only group right now coming up with this sort of like 90s or not even 2000 feel type
There's
beat
a
and
few
rapping about
people.
life, you know?
I think there's a few more. I think because it's weird because we all liked it. Like everybody likes that, and we didn't stop liking it. It's just that it was hard to find it. And so like when you see it in your face, and I imagine you guys can perform, like perform. So, yo, what's up, Willie Scandals? Um, since you can perform, when you're like, that's the one thing where I think you're gonna see a huge difference is live performances. I bet you guys know what you're doing, can rap your bars. You probably don't need backs. I'm assuming, can just do the thing. And a lot of people, a lot of people don't know how to perform live. I think, and I mean it because like back when I started, it was like, yo, you couldn't have your backs or you got laughed at because there were like possibly actual gangsters in the crowd and shit. So you don't want to be like embarrassing yourself. At least that was my interpretation of the
No backs,
situation.
man.
So I had to do all my shits. And then I don't know, I just learned how to perform and I took time and practiced it. And then like the internet lets you get buzz off of like not performing, right? And
Right?
so you don't really have, and
Absolutely.
now you can just like play the song kind of thing. So you don't, I don't know, like I'm just my,
Yeah, and make videos, and that's it. Yeah,
and then that's like it looks away, but like I don't think a lot of people, because I ask people if they practice performing, and a lot of people say no, and I'm like, bro, I'm shit. I practice every
I
time.
did.
Every time I perform, bro,
Me
I have to
too.
practice. Like, I'm not even that great. Or at least
Well, you still do it though.
every time.
Exactly.
Every time I'm gonna do it,
Exactly. Yeah.
because I know
I still do it.
it's like fucking. That first one you're gonna fuck up one little time. You got to get it out when no one's watching, kind of thing. You gotta practice,
Right?
get yourself
Yeah.
built up.
I go through that. I go through that, and I'm not even a rapper anymore. I'm not even like writing lyrics on weekly. You know, I'm not even envisioning words and then going in the mirror and doing like I used to do back in the days. But even the beats that I create now, they make me do that. You know, they make me think, oh shit,
Mm.
how would one of my verses or somebody else's verse would go on this? You know,
I,
and I get into that mode. You know,
but I think the little ones practice. Nah, I'm gonna take that back. Little ones like 17, 20, because they got time, so they do.
yeah,
And
they
I've
got
seen
time.
them perform,
Yeah,
and it was lit. Anytime I've ever seen a little one perform, they knew they shit.
I
So I'm talking
agree.
about my era. Like, we didn't practice our shit. So maybe the little ones will practice it,
Yeah.
actually. I don't know. I think it's
But at the
interesting.
Clash thing, we saw a few groups. There was quite a few youngsters there, and they were looking good, man. Like, and I mean, it looks like a video because Clash just shoot like a live thing of you doing your song, but you're actually almost like lip syncing, whatever. And they shoot it in a video mode, like it's a video, But most of the cats knew what the hell they were doing, man. They looked good on camera because we were behind it, so we could see the screen and shit. And they look good, man. Like you said, either they got time or they had their visions locked down of how they portray themselves on stage and how they carry themselves. But they were
Yo, I
looking
had
all
to, like,
wicked, man.
I'm, like, still, like, kind of rusty. I'm not even gonna lie on that part. Like, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get in shape. So I started working out and stuff because I'm like, oh, I can't be like walking. Especially now, that's the one thing is you can't be like lazy looking in your 30s. Like you can be
No,
lazy in
man.
your 20s and get away with some shit, but I feel like in your 30s you gotta
Yeah,
look like you can squat.
yeah, absolutely. Or like you can lift at least a 20-pound weight. Yeah,
Yeah, and like
absolutely.
move and like do something. Like I don't necessarily mean dance. I mean like the one. Okay, this is my theory. We're in dark times, so we don't want dark music like that. We want to move.
No, exactly.
And so like when you
I
go back
totally
to the
agree.
live show, like 80% of my catalog is not going to work until the world is prosperous again and they want to be miserable. So it's like
Right.
literally we got like fucking EDM and shit coming because like yo, we need to have stuff that people are going to want to shake their booty to cuz and it's
Yeah.
not about
And forget.
compromising
Yeah.
like I'm going to rap how I rap. I'm going to be a weird, do my thing.
Right.
But it's about sound and just like yo live sets and shit like that. Like I
Absolutely. Yeah.
can't. I don't even want to go to the party when. So I went to a show in Laval, which was amazing. Which is a weird set of things to think. It was some underground shit, but it was fucking like 200 people showed up, so it was pretty lit. And like the one guy did poetry in the middle, and it was super serious. And I'm like, no, bro, this is turn up times. That's all anybody here want to do is turn up. And Willie's saying he loves emceeing EDM fest, but like, yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen for years, especially because we all been locked up. Like, who the fuck doesn't kind of want to
Yeah,
secretly low
man.
key go do shit they haven't done in 10 years?
Yeah. Well, we were thinking about doing our shows like, you know, filming ourselves for the show, doing a live thing. Come to the show, man. It's free. Or then, pay $10 to be part, like you said, Twitch or whatever, like $5, to watch the show from your couch. So we were gonna do our live sets of all our songs, one after the other, separately, of course, and record them like that and put them out like that. And then, pandemic once again started hitting, and we were like, fuck, I think this is what we're gonna have to do. You know, there's no, forget about venues, man. I mean, like, forget them. Too many restrictions, this and that.
Dude,
Imagine if
you know what
before
we
it was like
started
50,
doing?
60 people.
So we found a little loophole. We found an amp. Um, like this Long and McCade store rents out gear. So for $50 a month, we were able to get this Bluetooth wireless battery powered giant amp thing that you could hear like 3 blocks away. Um,
Wow.
it has two mic inputs and a beat with the Bluetooth. And we started throwing
Wow.
little events in the park, just low key. And as long as you don't charge, it's legal.
Wow.
At least
Damn.
in NDG. I can't say for all city bylaws.
Right.
Check your local city bylaws. I asked the mayor at the time. She said it was okay. Um, and then
Wow. There you go.
yeah, so
Boom.
so like I mean, obviously gotta be smart about it, but you're even allowed to say fuck in the park. I wouldn't advise that necessarily. There's some diplomacy with the neighborhood you might have to do,
I agree. I
but
totally agree.
we did, and nobody cared, and we were lit because a bunch of grandmas and shit were so starved for live shit that they were willing to watch mediocre rappers freestyle and shit. It was pretty awesome, and so like I'm feeling like that's the flex, man. Fuck venues.
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah. Let's do that this summer, bro. I'm with you, man.
oh,
We
we
could do
running it.
something crazy
We're
like
doing
that.
that shit every Sunday or I don't know what day. Don't hold me to that. We're gonna pick the date and the time slot, and then we're gonna run it weekly at Girard Park because I'm in DG, so that's the home base for us. But the
Right.
idea is, yo, imagine if like paralleled every borough had a spot, and then we could swap in.
That's sick.
That's the coordination that gets the fucking wheel going, but I don't know how to make the other people play ball.
Well, I guess you're doing, man, with the podcast, man. I mean, that's it's although you're doing it and you're inside your own aquarium and you don't know how people are seeing you from the outside, but that's the way I see it from what you're doing. From your perspective, you're doing what you're amazing at.
Mm,
And from my perspective, I would want to be on a show like you're doing because right now the podcast thing is in. But by you doing what you're doing, you're giving actually, a voice to many others that, can't actually go to the radio because they're not going to get invited by the radio because the radio's not playing their track,
facts.
you know? And you were saying before, yeah, but how do I get entwined with all the rappers? And I Googled them. But I think just by doing what you're doing, that's exactly what's going to happen. 'Cause right now, maybe one of my buddies or one of my friends sees this and is like, hey, can you contact me with him and send me
Facts.
a link and this? And I mean, you're doing it.
I
So
mean, don't get me
for
wrong. I, in my heart and soul, have a business plan that justifies all of this. That says I'm doing this. It's part of a huge vision for me.
awesome.
Like it's not. I'm just. You don't want to be the guy on the podcast sucking your own dick on cam type thing.
No,
Like.
of course not. But
But I mean, it's huge for me. Like in my 40s, I see myself writing a book called The History of Montreal Hip Hop. Like we're talking, it's at that level of like
freaking
planning
awesome.
in my head. So like all of this shit is to be built on this foundation for the next stuff. So this is part of like it's this thing I'm trying to brand this data gang centrism, where if everybody in marketing in the world wins on data and big data rules everything around me, and this is just how it actually works in the world. Like people think 20,000 views counts for shit, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't talk a lot about my day job, but I personally am responsible for a group with 11,000 people that I'm supposed to foster life into, and I'm like the project. It's like day job. I get paid to do some of this shit, so I'm a little like I don't think anyone has perspective onto how like things have to like really work in terms of real numbers
Right.
and real impact and stuff. So it's like for me it's about relationships made. Those are the real metrics.
Absolutely. Yeah. For me too.
But yo, the numbers and shit, yo, fuck man, it's a psychological mind fuck. For the first time ever, my YouTube channel is gonna take a dip. It's gonna have a negative subscriber if it keeps going in 4 years, and that's sadness.
Really.
Yeah, but again, like bigger picture shit. Like
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
not.
You got to see it in as, yeah.
And I think it's hard. It's super hard. That's why I'm saying this shit. Because sometimes I think the conversations are worth it, or at least cathartic for me. But
Right.
like, yo, like when you get past that, it's like who fucking cares? Like Willie Scandals is here, and he's playing. He plays
Yeah, man.
tracks, and you got to send your music to him. If you haven't, I can make sure you guys link up
Right.
after, and he'll play your shit.
Awesome,
He'll
man.
play your whole
Appreciate that.
fucking 7-track project, and his fans actually will fuck with what you do. They don't like me. I'm too out there for them. They will eat your shit up.
That's awesome. I appreciate that, man.
And I think that's what I'm trying to be part of the solution with. That's my little end of it. However impact it gets, it's not really my place to say, but I think a lot of people can do things. Like if you guys started a podcast, like shit, your block modes, the block mode
Yeah, we're
people,
thinking about it.
my gosh, like there's so much
We're
like
thinking about, we thought about it. Yeah, we
you guys
thought
could
about
just go live on Twitch, smoke blunts on the couch, talk your shit, and get paid. Because as long as you on Twitch, at least it's legal for weed because like it's all good in the
it.
hood. And YouTube monetizes me with weed all the time. So we're in,
Oh, shit.
yeah, everything's monetized. I don't know about Facebook. I wouldn't gamble on Facebook every penny.
Facebook. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm like I get paid out my little hundreds here and there from YouTube and Twitch, and I've smoked weed in a fuck ton of
Awesome.
content. So like we're in that era where I know for a fact that if Widget, Heavy, and others were to actually go and do their version of what I'm doing, it could have a bigger impact than I could. Because they're the guys who inspired others, whereas I'm just like the outsider trying to catch up. And those both perspectives are relevant, but their perspective is more necessary.
I agree. I agree. And I get it. Yes, I totally agree on that. And they're still inspiring. I mean, there was something about, like you said before, about I wouldn't call it the golden era of hip hop in Montreal, but, like the early 2000s, there was something because people were knowing each other, like, oh yeah, that band's from there. That band, oh yeah, that group's from there. Oh yeah, that guy that raps, he's from there. Like, and then you would see each other at shows, like say the what's up and fist it up and like yeah featuring yeah we'll featuring like now you don't see that anymore, which is fine because it's a whole new era and these kids got it locked in a totally different way. You know, it's all social media and it's all YouTube
Nah, but it's a
likes and
huge issue.
comments and
It's a huge issue, actually, what you're saying. It's something I realized because there was, in my little early part, that did happen for me. I got lucky. 2012 to 2014 was ill. It was this organic rush of, I don't know if you've heard of Meyer Clarity, but I ended up being grouped into his fan base. Like his fans fucked with
okay.
me. So I ended up at these weird ass punk venues with him and shit in this little underground spots and shit like that. And because that happened, that organic, it would be like, yo, me and Meyer talk to this day because of that too, right? Like we're like,
No, that's awesome.
I don't know. I don't like to use the word friends, but as far as friends in this game go, we're friends because we've been around a decade and we
No,
know each other
absolutely
that long.
right.
And it's like because we were there together, drunk, whatever, in these moments rapping, like we both were at this one show where the girl peed on the stage. I was on right before, it's like we were there for that shit. Like he helped me out in times and shit like that. So it's like, but then it ended and it all became internet. And what I learned over COVID is fucking internet relationships are garbage. Like I don't fucking trust nobody over the
Horrible.
internet no more. And everybody lies to
No
you on the
man,
internet so easily.
of
People,
course.
I don't know. I don't. It's like it's wild. Like even like something like this, like we're vibing, but I'd have to like vibe with you in person now to like really know if I can vibe with you. And that,
Absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah,
and I think that's
it's
been
it's
lost on
killed that
people.
essence between humans. You know, it's that's what COVID did. You know, and probably that was the plan. You know, like separate us from associating with each other and getting together. You know, because that's a big thing. You know, getting together is a big thing. Yeah, you know, like if you look at the bands from back in the '90s, they were all crews and cliques and clans and today what are they? There's just one dude.
That's
You know
fair.
that
A lot of times
you
that
don't
is the
see too many
case.
groups with six
S-
members
I
anymore, and
well, you see it with the young ones. The young ones do like collectives. So the young ones, my
yeah,
theory
because they're
is,
cliques.
but
Yeah,
it's more than that. Young people don't believe in celebrity like we do. So because they don't believe in celebrity, they just don't really care. They're just trying to get their like pay, so to speak. Like they're okay
yeah,
making 100,000 a year, which to be
yeah,
honest, you
exactly.
should be okay making 100K a year in music. Like
Of course,
we should all be even aspiring for that more than the millies. Like everyone's trying to get
absolutely,
millies before they even have 50K,
absolutely.
and it's kind of like,
Yeah, man, absolutely.
but
The guys are trying to get the Lambo, but they don't even got the cribs. You know, so where would you put your Lambo in front of your 4.5 apartment? You know, like
it's not gonna last.
that's crazy. That's not gonna last.
But
It ain't
like
gonna last.
the other side of it is I think COVID had this weird impact that nobody even, however nefarious COVID may be in your mind, nobody was predicting how it would make a bunch of men open up about their feelings. Nobody could have predicted that, and now it's
I
gonna be
agree.
weird, and men are gonna start bonding in ways. No, and I'm talking grown ass men. I'm having these
I've
open
seen it.
conversations with my colleagues that like about emotional shit, and it's like, we're not fighting
Yeah, man.
about, we're understanding each other in ways that we've never happened before. And I think that's the most beautiful part of COVID that we're all going to, that's what we're really going to appreciate 10 years later.
Absolutely, man. Fear makes you do and think things that you never did before. You know,
Yeah.
take for granted some things and then let go of some others. You know, and I think that's what's happening right now.
Plus, we all had
Maybe out
like,
of this, we're gonna get a whole bunch of a new generation of artists and music coming out soon. That's gonna be like the shit. You know, like it's gonna be like the thing. You know, like we were waiting for some type of new sound to come out, and boom, bam, out of this, it will come out. You know.
it's just going to be EDM fucking rap. Let's be fucking real. That's the next 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's been,
When you say EDM rap, is it like that Travis Scott shit? Is that what he does?
no, I wouldn't go there. He's more like like abstract on the melodic trap side of things. He does more pop. I mean, more
Okay,
like take EDM and add rap, like Steve
right.
Aoki featuring rappers.
I get it. True.
That's at least what
Yeah,
I'm
we
going
haven't
to
seen
do.
that.
I know Roswell Beats in them. They got at least one like that coming. Like a lot of us are gonna jump on that because I think a lot of us had the epiphany that we all want to go raving more than we want to go bop our heads,
Right.
and this is just
Well, I've
selfish.
produced a few EDMs.
Like for me, it's
I got a few tracks
selfish.
like that.
That's where I want to go perform. It's like my girlfriend gave
Absolutely.
me a soft like if I find the right girl pass. So like now I want to be a rapper at a place where we can find the right girl, not in a room, you know. So you start thinking a
Right.
little different. You get a little different in your goals and
Out the
ambitions,
box.
and then arguably, I love EDM, so it's not even like anything for me. It's just like, yeah, we can rap on this now, and people are cool with it.
You should shoot me some names because I don't know anything from now, to
I
be
don't know
honest with you.
anything either, dude. I just don't like. Here's the thing: like Vincent Price, the beat maker, gave me an EDM sounding beat, so I used it. Peter
Oh
West,
shit.
the beat maker from Northern Beat Society back in the day, and them gave me a bunch of
Right.
EDM beats that he made in 2014 when he was on Molly for a minute. It's like
Oh
people just be
fuck.
throwing me shit, and like if it sounds like doo 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 like one of these like, and I'm feeling it, it's cool. Yo, let me rap on that shit. I've been feeling like that because my brother was in the rave scene once upon a time. And so I did my
Right.
little run of mollies in the warehouses before it got not cool, where you could like sit there with your cigarette burning slowly to ashes while you were,
Oh shit.
and then you ran out of cigarettes and you were willing to pay $2 for a cigarette like you never would in your life.
Damn.
So I have all these like,
Yeah, for us, I guess it was the acid trips.
for me it was Molly. I didn't really acid scared me a bit. Somebody told me it fucks with your
Oh,
genetics, and I don't know. I never did acid, but Molly, man, Molly at a rave is like okay. I'm not encouraging that shit. This is pre-fentanyl.
right.
So like, oh my,
Yeah.
I don't even think I want to do it again. But like, my God, those memories are good.
I don't even think I could do like hard drugs anymore, man. I'm so off of that. It's been such a while. I'm cool with what you
Mm,
know, I'm cool with my water and my spliff, and that's it. But like everything else, I get a high off of natural things now. I think spent so much of my lifetime, like getting high and getting drunk and getting crazy, and once you let life hit you, then you realize that's the biggest high. At least for me. I can't speak for others. I mean, you
mm,
go through your experiences and your ups and downs, and that's for everybody to find out, right? But for me, it was that, man. Just, I guess, appreciate the sobriety of life.
I felt
Uh,
that way until my
get
girlfriend was like, "I want to do mushrooms for my birthday," and then we did mushrooms for her birthday. I went to the
last
Laser
time I
show.
did mushrooms, I went to the hospital for a stomach pump. I
Mm,
never.
that's fair. And then we did it again, and it was like ethereal shit. And I'm like, there's the potential of doing this wild ass mushroom trip with people and making art. Like, this is not off the table for me because I wrote half a
Right.
song. And I don't know how to finish it now, but I'm gonna finish that. But I wrote half a song, and it's like it was really okay. You think it's gonna be some abstract shit, but no, it's not acid. It's mushrooms. You're just in touch with your soul. So it turned out to be
Absolutely.
me doing one of my own songs, but I just don't feel the same as I did when I wrote it.
Exactly. It's something completely different.
But it was fast, man. I could see how, like, with a copious amount of mushrooms in the room and everybody doing their things in like a 12-hour period, you could bang out like a 14-minute ethereal trip song. That could be fucking wild. Like that kind of shit
That's
appeals to me.
crazy.
But mostly in my regular life, I like to just smoke the dope and here and there pretend I can drink and then regret it the next day and be one of those people.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker at all, at all, at all.
I'm okay with it if I have to
But yeah, once
freestyle.
in a while.
I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. Get to that tipsy level,
Yeah.
perfect.
So I did a
Just to
freestyle
open the
without
gates a little
alcohol.
bit.
It wasn't good. I got a little tipsy. They responded. I'm like, okay, lesson learned. Lesson fucking learned. I'm not that good yet.
I was never good at freestyles, man. Even back in the days when I was calling myself a rapper, I was never the cat that would, like just come
Mm,
off the bat with like 8 bars like that. And my whole surrounding, everybody I knew were like that, like spitting bars after bars. And I can maybe spit like 4 bars or 8 bars like that. And that was it. And then I get lost, and everybody else around me was spitting 16s and 34s and 10 minutes of this and nonstop that. And you had to shut them up. And I was in the corner like, hey, Lobo, it's your turn. I'll pass. I'll pass. Like, I got nothing. I got nothing.
mm.
But hey, like it goes with the territory.
On the other hand, you perform for 30,000 people in another country.
Yeah.
That's kind
One
of
song. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yo,
It
like
was an experience.
I'm not gonna lie. If I don't do that secretly, I don't win. I have to do that at least once in my soul, or I don't win. Like it's not about money; it's about being in that
No,
position.
yeah, totally, man. Because I didn't get paid for none of that, man, and I didn't care, man. And like I told you, I didn't realize until like maybe a week after I did it, when I saw
However,
the clips on TV and I saw
we would
the
absolutely be
pictures on the
filming that
newspaper.
shit, and I would 100% be using it in promotional material after, because thankfully we live in the era of phones.
Somebody's got that. Somebody's got that. It might be on the net somewhere. I have no idea. Now that we're talking about it, I might look for it because I don't have a copy of that, man. It wasn't the time where phones had cameras and shit. So
Which is arguably why the whole 2000s is a very not documented era, plus a couple other little
absolutely, man.
complications, but like price. But yeah, no, it makes sense. And then you get to this era where it's like, like I think about how much shit I deleted, where I'm like,
Yeah,
how many like fucking bad freestyles or things like all that's gold, bro. That's like documentary fodder that
yeah,
I got
man.
rid of.
I wish I had a bunch. Yeah, totally agree with you. I wish I had a bunch of ciphers, a bunch of shows we did at venues and parks and this and that. I wish I had all that. Put all that together, documented. You know?
But at least you can do this kind of shit. This is why y'all got to get on your TikToks and tell stories and shit. I don't know if you TikTok,
Yeah,
but you should TikTok.
I don't, but yeah, everybody's been telling us, man, you guys should TikTok big time.
Yo,
But we're putting all that together,
it's so
That's
easy.
exactly what we're doing,
TikTok is too
I
easy
guess.
to ignore. That's the only problem with it. Like, bro, it really could be as simple as, yo, let me tell you something. Blah 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 blah. Done. TikTok recorded in your
TikTok.
and then you edit it after.
Again.
I'm not even fucking kidding.
Yeah.
I don't have real numbers, but I have been playing with it. And if you have a provocative thought or an idea, then put it on the fucking TikTok. And like,
Yeah.
sometimes instead of telling the girlfriend and annoying her, I can tell the TikTok and then I get it out, and it's the same shit.
And then you touch a bunch of girls with the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, that's just
See, you
kind of
see, that's the thing with us. We're still getting all that together, you know? We're still seeing what, how and where and which and why and with whom and we're not being picky at all. We're just letting it
nah,
flow, I
bro.
guess.
I get it. I act like it's intuitive to me after doing it for a really long time, so I make it sound easier. But like low key, it took me a year of loafing on TikTok, and I probably missed the like. I could have been getting 1,000 views from my 200 views if I had just done the same shit I'm doing
Right.
now a year ago. But my brain wasn't ready for the talk. I wasn't ready for it,
I get it.
and now I'm
I
ready
get
for
it.
it. Now I'm a whore for this shit. Now it's more like I'm just ready for the fact that like you know what I think people are afraid of low key is that you're gonna get famous
Yeah.
not for being the rapper or not. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. I agree.
Because I realized I have fans of my Facebook statuses. It's fucking corny. They don't give a shit about anything else I do, but they fucks with my Facebook statuses. And if there was a way to monetize Facebook statuses, I'd be fucking richer than I am today. Because I
Yeah,
got
no
fans.
shit, man.
I've tested it, bro. I've written shit like 1,700 words. They've read the whole thing. Like I've done some weird shit to prove that like I got fans on Facebook, and then they don't care about anything else I do. And then I had
I
to
know the
like,
feeling, bro.
think about that. It's still cool. It means they fuck with me. I guess that's dope.
Yeah, exactly. They still do. Exactly.
And
They
then I
still do.
realized, cool. That's what TikTok and shit is like. It's like people fucking with you more than what you do, and I think that's why people are
Yeah,
afraid of
man.
it.
Yeah, the organic side of you. That's the thing. They love to see the, like where you're at right now. They love to see, oh, what's that in the back? Oh,
Mm.
oh, he's got a boombox there. Oh, he's got this. He's got, they love to see, the the organic of it,
Yeah,
I
man. I'm
guess.
always
Because listen,
curious.
on my stories, I'll put a picture with me and the wifey and the kids in a park, and I'll get like 400 views in 2 hours, right? But then again, I'll put me and Heavy doing a little freestyle or me creating a beat, and I'll get 20 views, and I'll get maybe a few hearts. But then for with the kids or with the stroller or the sun is beautiful. Look how gorgeous that bird is passing, the sun, and then I pan out and you see my kids afar. I'll get 3,000
So
on a story.
I mean, I'm not saying to use your kids, but what we as artists have to do is to learn that lesson though. Like for real, like it's not like I mean there's a meme of like cat video up your content, but that's shitty. You don't do that. But yo, I started doing shit like uh so I take the bus, right? And I went to Merker Miyagi's crib in LaSalle, and so I just filmed snippets of my trip. It was the corniest fucking thing ever to do, but I put my song under it in the TikTok, and I know that that got like 4 or 5 hearts or whatever. And it's like, yo, what's up, Chris Chrome? Shout out Chris Chrome for setting this up. um,
Shout out Chris Chrome, man.
but like, yeah, and I realized that there's so many ways to just leverage that kind of like thing. People cared about my bus ride because like we're all locked up and it's cool because you're seeing me go to LaSalle, and if you care about any of that shit, you do. And people who don't
Right.
live in Montreal love that shit because it's Montreal, and I don't think we in Montreal know how cool our city is. Yo, when I was flying, because we went to New York in November, when we were flying back in, I watched this like Florida flight attendant lady who had never flown to Montreal geek over Montreal the way I had just geeked over fucking New York a week ago. Like she was me,
Imagine that.
and it was
Yeah.
such a culture shock. And then I saw the bridge, which we all gotta shut the fuck up. That shit is fire. It makes the city look so good, and it's worth $100 million. And we are blessed to have a fucking cool ass bridge that people see when they fly into Montreal. That's what I learned about that
Yeah.
bridge. It looks
The
that
new
good.
one or
That
the
blue,
Jacques Cartier?
the blue one, the lights, the one that we were all mad at,
Okay, yeah, the one with the lights, the brand new one, the Champlain one, the
bro.
one they tore down.
When you see that shit when you're flying in,
Oh, really?
it's like New York City art level, bro. Like we compete at a
Oh,
global,
fuck. Okay.
but nobody flies in to see it.
Right. Yeah, because I've been on it a bunch of times, right? For work, I go all around
Like
Montreal, but I've never seen it from above, so I wouldn't
and
know.
you might like it's also like you kind of have to be in tourist mode to see that shit in Montreal. Like you almost have to go to another city and be a tourist for a minute, come back and look for your own. And then
Right.
yo, Montreal's got like competitive shit. Like we fly. We're not New York, but we close.
Yeah, man, we fly. That I totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, New York, it's because it's huge.
It's,
I mean, it's immense. It's massive. That's the thing with New York,
but like,
especially Manhattan. I mean, the buildings just it's ridiculous. It doesn't even look real from afar. It looks like pure metal popping out of anywhere. And here in Montreal, you see just a few little buildings, and that's about it. But it's just because it's massive. But if you would take a part of New York and just look at that part, that's how I see Montreal. Because
mm,
that's how Queens is and Brooklyn is when
but
you look
like
at
a
all those
lit
boroughs.
part. Like we like our
Yeah,
downtown core is a blessing. I think we all sleep on our downtown core.
yeah.
I don't think we all understand how good
Totally,
it is.
totally,
You have to go to
totally,
Toronto
totally,
and try to
totally.
party to understand how good Montreal is.
Oh fuck, I've been there lots of times. Lots.
Yeah.
Clubs close at 1.
Shit,
Ain't nobody out there.
shit's so far apart. You need a whip or a
Yeah,
taxi budget, which is
yeah,
like
totally. Everything is completely separate and far from each other. Yeah,
in
totally.
Montreal. You like fucking pick an
It's
area,
right there.
walk. Oh, cool. I'm going to Crescent tonight. What 33 bars in the vicinity do I want to visit? I don't know if it's going to be like that
Yeah.
still. I don't know where the hot spots are. Montreal evolved.
Hey, who knows? We're gonna see this summer, right?
Yo, all the
Shit is slowly
venues.
changing.
Imagine all the
Yeah,
new
man.
venues that are going to come. Because everyone's mad about all the classic venues closing, but what if all the new venues are fire?
Let's wait and see, eh? I guess we're gonna find out pretty soon.
Yeah, March. March, eh? Oh my gosh, the world's opening
Yeah.
in March.
Yeah, let's see. Well, everybody else is opening. We're just late. We're
Um,
just late.
we're
But
getting
hey, I
there.
mean,
We're getting there.
yeah, exactly.
But yo,
Exactly.
um, when is your next stuff coming? I think you said you had a EP you were working on. When do you think that's
Yeah,
gonna?
like I told you, we don't know yet if we're making an album out of this one or if we're just gonna like slide in another EP with another selection of 7 tracks. But it mostly definitely will be that style I was talking to you about earlier. Like that track that we did
Right.
for Clash, it's gonna be that. Of course, yeah, there'll be a few, like monumental beats like we did on the first EP. But I think I'm mostly gonna stick to not having any samples and having everything really fresh. Because all the new tracks that we have now, they're all tracks that were, yeah, okay, I'm the one who makes the beats, but they're all tracks and beats that we created together with Heavy.
Mm.
That Heavy was like, hey man, I'm listening, I'm hearing this type of bass. Watch, boom, 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 and then I'm like, oh, do that again, and boom, boom, and do it like that, and then from
Right.
that
Right.
to the kick and snare. So I'm gonna stick with that. But yeah, we're I think we're like 6 tracks in already. So I don't know if I'm gonna add one more and just call it a day and call it an EP, or if we're gonna keep going and flick in some of the other tracks that didn't make it on the Monumental EP, which are like mostly 90s, boom bap beats and sample tracks, shit like that. Or I'm just gonna stick to this and just drop an album. I don't know yet. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right. Well, that's the beauty
We're
of it
we're, we're
now.
still producing.
And you have all the time.
Sorry?
You have the beauty of doing it at this age is there's really no rush.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm in no rush. Like I think that most of my rush comes from, my other half in the music, which is heavy because he's always pushing me to do the best that I could do, right? He's like the most motivating person I know in this. And he's been motivating me like this for like the past 15 years. It's just that lately, like we've grown as men now, like, yeah, we were wild at one point, but there comes a time where, you sit down and be like, hey man, like you got to do stuff that can become a legacy, not necessarily that a legacy of, of money making and, bling and houses and the fuck that shit. Just make a legacy that
Right.
you put it a footprint somewhere, you left a footprint somewhere for somebody else to either follow or appreciate or take in and learn from it or whatnot. So I think that's the mode we're at right now. We're pushing each other to be the best that we could be right now for the music, for whatever we're doing, and to be honest with it, because it's super easy in music not to be honest with your music and
Facts.
just pretend and just like try to give it a glamour or try to give it a face and a name. That's why we didn't call ourselves like a name. We just called it numbers, 999, because it's like the dualism between me and him and what we're doing. And 999 is like the beginning of one thing and the ending of another. So it was like
Mm.
letting go of what we had and taking it upon ourselves to what we do have right now to like it's what's upcoming, and we just added the official because there's a bunch of people in tracks and stuff and albums called 999, which were, deflecting from what we wanted it. But we wanted it to keep the 999, so we called it official. It's
That's
the
amazing.
official 999. That's how it came about, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're working on it right now as we speak. I think with the Clash thing, what Clash did for us, and shout out to Sean and all the dudes over there, Natasha Marie and everybody down at the Clash, is that we, by the reaction of others, we sort of looked at each other like, shit, okay, yeah, like we know we got something, but now other people,
That's
gave it a
wild.
oomph,
Like it's
gave it
wild
a
to hear you say that because I heard that shit you have out, and I'm like, oof, that's fire. That's like harsh. You guys got like it's because it's more abstract than you would expect. I don't know how to fully put it, but it's like really good. It stands out and it feels like it's got. It's hard to be like, nah, there's 100 other guys doing it. No, not at least here. Like you guys have. And I'm not just gassing you up. There's the way you blend the production with his unexpected takes on the vocal, the things, and his versatility track to track. And I thought that was
right.
really impressive. So
I appreciate that.
for me, it's like, psh, of course you guys are good. Plus, you've been doing this for 20 years. Plus, like,
Appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. I'm not just saying that. I really do appreciate that because I know it comes from somebody who studies and sees the music and loves it, and it's embedded in you. So
yeah,
it makes a huge difference for us,
like I
And to
know,
me, to be honest with you, that's my biggest critique because music lovers could always say, "Yeah, I love your shit, I love your shit," and that's where it stops, But people who follow the music, who like intricate things and sort like paintings, right?
like
You can't
even
sell
if
a painting to somebody,
like I look at it like there's a whole lot of audiences for what you do, and in a lot of sense, what I try to do is maybe like I'm not gonna be in the mood to listen to your music all the time. Maybe I feel like I'm gonna be more in the mood for your next project, just on how you've described it, right? But like I listen to what other people bump and I try to keep track of it. Like I know for a fact that that project you have out right now would do really well with Willie's crowd that fucking obsesses over golden era hip hop like it's the greatest shit ever.
yeah,
And I know that. I just know that they're gonna hear it and I see what they fucking light up for in the comments and I try to pay attention to like audiences. I like to like I have the girlfriend test now. I try to run shit. If she's not doing some corny head bop, knee tap bullshit is not it for that. It's going to dude land. And now I can just rap about boring shit because it's dude land.
yeah, absolutely.
And I kind of so I
Absolutely.
look. Sometimes I love rapping about what I call boring shit that only rappers care about. It's boring. Nobody fucking cares about this shit.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, you see, that's why, I wanted to bring something else to the table, because what we did with Monumental's been done. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was actually, it was me and Heavy coming together and being like, yo, bro, let's pick back up where we left off in 2008,
Mm,
Let's pick back up from there where we met each other and we started doing grimy shit. Let's pick back up, actually finish it this time, actually give it a name, actually have a cover, an album cover, put it out there now that there's platforms and all kinds. You pay $59.99 and you're on DistroKid or on here or on there and blah, 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 and it spreads it everywhere.
yep.
How about let's just finish this one thing? But now we're off that, we're over that. Now we're like coming into, like I guess I don't know if you would say that the real in us or what's really real about us, but I think that the real passion side of it is going to come out with our next project.
That's super
You're
dope.
really going to see really who we really are, I guess, in a way.
That's what people want. Plus, I think there's a real thing that like people kind of do like watching older dudes rap still, especially older dudes who still are on YouTube. Like, yo, my entire audience is 25 to 35 for the most part. I mean, yeah, there's exceptions, but like, nah, like there's just too many old people, and old people have bigger wallets. We're all misplaying. We're all trying too hard to compete with the guys like Eminem markets to 16-year-olds. Why would you want to target on that guy? Like, who are you trying to impress there? I can't. I don't have a
Yeah,
machine that tells me
exactly.
what 16-year-olds are gonna think is hot. Nah, b.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think people need better role models that are more in line with this, like how to make money off of 30-year-olds that like to put $5 a month into things market. Like YouTubers. That's how
I
YouTubers make money.
yeah. Yeah, true. With promos and shit and they get the check at the end of the month. Yeah.
Yo,
Totally agree.
Patreon's a heavy tool, my guy. Patreon's wonderful. And y'all, every
Oh,
rapper
really?
should fucking open a Patreon just off the jump. Cause Patreon is like people pay you X amount a month for X, as in you can put a tier that says for $1 a month you just show love and you get fucking nothing, and you could all turn
Well,
that
shit.
on today, and nobody ever does. And if we created a
Right.
culture of Patreon, we would all make more money off of people getting habituated. Stop pushing album sales, push your Patreons. You'll make more money.
Right.
Two people pay me $25 USD a month. I'm like, that's one person giving me more money than other people might hustle off of some other shit. Not a lot, but like you
Yeah,
got
man.
recurring people over time, and one person will give you hundreds of dollars over years.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
And that's like,
Well, man, when I started the gram, I started posting like small clips when back in the days when they will only let you like 30 seconds of the shits. Now I think it's a minute now.
yeah.
But
Oh no, you can.
when I
Yeah,
started
you can go longer,
posting
but yeah.
longer, yeah, it got
Well, they
longer.
have like
Imagine
okay,
that.
they
How many
have the
fucking
minute that it plays, then they have the
yeah, the
10 minutes
reels.
that you can go to videos
Yeah,
for, then reel. Anyway, there's a lot of choices there.
yeah, exactly. But when I started with the first seconds they would give you, I started with like just little clips of my beats and with a little record spinning, and I would edit it in Final Cut and give it like a little video thing. I went skyrocket all the way, I think to like 10,000 people in less than 3 months. Like organic followers, organic, because I was pushing it every day and I was, clicking and sending and going to other people's pages and posting it there and clicking it back to the link and whatever. As soon as I stopped that and I started putting like songs and beats that I really liked and giving them life with a cover and whatever, went down right away. And I was wondering like what happened there? Like I don't get it. Because I used to have like 30 seconds, now I got a minute. Now I'm posting actual videos of me like doing the beat and chopping it up and giving it a cover type thing and editing it and giving it nice colors. And now my followers are going down. So what? They really like that spontaneous shit that where you just choose something and put the beat in the back, like if it wasn't even meant to be, and just flick it, like you said before with the cat thing there, like, or are you on the bus? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going on? Is it the algorithm that's fucking with me? Is it
Actually,
the kids are
so here's
getting
my theory. Um, our generation's version of machismo looks real bitch to a bunch of young men that think we're a bunch of overblowing guys posturing for fucking bravado. and they like that real
Yeah.
shit. And so
Yeah.
like when men puff up their chests and get loud and start like it's just corny to the kids. It's not how you be a man.
Yeah.
That's not even manly to
Yeah. I
anybody
get it.
anymore. So I think that changed. And in a lot of ways, the level of perfection chasing that people who clearly can't afford that life are chasing, like that's part of why my shit looks so bootleg. I am like, guys, I need money. Like, like there's no fucking disillusionment.
Exactly.
I'm not the rapper to rap about fucking having money. I panic, yo. I spend money, I trip balls. We spent $50 on Uber Eats. I have remorse. Like, it's fucking guilt and shit after. I wake up the next day like, shouldn't have fucking got that fucking Uber Eats, but like that's every time. And like, I don't know, that's where I'm at in life. I'm not doing bad, but that's where I'm at in life, Like, so I don't like to
Absolutely.
misrepresent it. I mean, I guess there's a degree of fantasy, but like, I think that like perfection chasing is really just like weird unless you can maintain it. And like, yo, it's not about quality, right? Like I put effort into trying to put the ratios of the fucking elements on the screen, and like I try to make the ambiance look aight enough, like, but like the quality is meant to be the conversation here. If we're doing a music video, okay, we can do
Exactly.
different shit. And it's like, but I also see people try, and no disrespect to anyone else, but people try really hard on podcasts that are gonna get like 100 views at the end of the day. It's like maybe we're trying too hard, and I think there's a lot of trying too hard, and it comes off really corny. So like, I mean, that's how I feel,
That's
and
true.
I feel that way. I can only imagine a lot of other people do. So like, when I see all these weird Airbnb moments and shit, it's like, alright, cool, but like, a lot of us can replicate it, so it's not hard. And so that's why I do long podcasts because they're hard. It's hard to do this, to maintain this chat like 3 times a week type shit. I think that's more interesting than like it looking nice
It is.
to at
Because
least the
I'm a guy
people I'm trying to
that likes
attract.
that. Yeah, because I like to watch interviews that are long, When I'm watching interviews, like, yeah, I used to watch the Vlads. I haven't seen any of them anymore in a
Yeah,
while.
I don't
He used
watch
to
them
have
anymore.
some that are like an hour and a half,
Yo, it's Joe
the
Rogan.
Breakfast Club and all that.
Joe
But,
Rogan talked to fucking Alex Jones for 5 hours, and I watched all of it. And I said, "Wow,
yeah, exactly.
I watched a five
Yeah.
hour interview."
And you wouldn't give a shit what's behind them. The only thing that you're watching, like you said, the quality of the whole
Mm.
the whole purpose of it is the talk, it's the convo, it's the dialogue.
And don't get me wrong. I think this, to a degree, it matters. Like I put books and shit. Like, like a degree of it matters. Like it used to look shittier, and I think it. However, when it looked shittier, I did better. Actually, now that I'm thinking, yo, Lindell, remember when it sounded like ass and we were on the couch? Because Lindell here been around since like he's watched every one of my YouTube videos and left a little comment on him. But yo, it used to sound like ass, and I used to get thousands of views. And now we try hard and we like take it seriously. And I like my album reviews. We used to just be like white people sounding like white people, to be honest, and it did really well. Then we got all fucking educated and learned shit. So, because you don't want to be white people sounding like white people, you don't want to be that. So you learn, and then we got civil. We used to fucking argue more, and like nobody gave a shit. It's like, oh, you guys are just gonna be like focused on caring about the musical quality. No, what's crazy is with the right
Right,
albums, man, people love that shit. It's just I don't know how to pick the right
right,
albums. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to figure out the album review game.
right.
But yeah, the calmer we got, the more like and the studio upgrades. Because I mean, obviously, at a certain point, you're gonna put more money into your shit.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
I feel like it hurt me a little bit in growth, and people want to support you more when you're like in the shittiest of shittiest.
Yeah, of course. Of course. They were like I told you before, they want to see you in the most organic, what they can relate to, because what's the reality of it? Like what's the percentage of your
Mm,
fans or the people that watch you or listen to my shit that are really like that are up there, that made it in life and whatnot, and that are, that that they're up there. Let's just call it that. They're up the pyramid, and everybody else was below the pyramid. They're just there like watching up. What's the statistic of how many of those are really there to watch the quality of your show instead of the quality of what you're talking about? If your show's a talking show,
yeah,
right?
like I mean,
What's
I couldn't give a shit what the fucking Breakfast Club's office looked like. I mean, I think it looks like ass, to be honest with you. It looks like a fucking boring
it
ass
does,
radio fucking room. And then, like, I mean, I thought about doing all kinds of fancy shit, and I was about to put money into design work, and then I just found these free purple boxes I'm gonna use that you'll see after, and it was like cool. These look nice enough, and I stopped trying that hard. I paid for logos and stuff, sure, but like, nah. I mean, and I want to level up and gloss up over time, but like, this is what we're at. This is what we can afford. She didn't work for a year and a half. Thank
Absolutely.
God she got a
Well,
job
you do
now.
what you do, man.
But like COVID took hits. Nobody was expecting some of the shit to go out the way it did, and I'm like, I've just not. You know what it was? The '90s hip hop did teach me one thing: keep it real, homie. And I took that shit way to heart, to my chagrin. I found out maybe that's if you're like me, it's you gotta do a little bit of glossing. Glossing's
Yeah, man.
important, but like in general,
I
yeah,
totally agree.
like it this is a fine set. Yeah, it is. Thanks, Willie. But this isn't even the first iteration of the setup of my stream because Willie's responding to what I was saying. But I had to learn how to graphically arrange stuff so it doesn't look so fucking tacky and shit, and how to space stuff a bit. But like, nah. I mean, being authentic's fucking weird though. But it's just a weird thing because you're not gonna be in the algorithm.
Absolutely, I get it.
But that's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
It's a big struggle.
Like I said, you're doing it. That's the most important shit of out of all this conversation is that you're doing it, you know.
I love it though. I
We could be
mean,
talking about the biggest podcast dudes and they could be crappy, but they're doing it, you know. And you could talk about the lowest grade dude doing the
and I
podcast
respect
and he
it.
could be
Like,
the one.
and the thing is we would never have had this chat. Like, what's the likelihood you and I would have ever sat down outside of this context and had this chat?
I agree.
That's the blessing for me. Like the biggest of all the blessings that it could be. Like in my like whenever
It could have been at a show. It could have been at a, at an
never.
event
It would have
and
been like a quick
and not this long. It would have been really brief and quick and that would have been that.
and like the
Yeah.
likelihood of you ever inviting me or like nah, it's not going. I'm like way too young to be really chilling with y'all.
Yeah, well, you know what? Next time we're recording either a new track or we're doing something, come over, man.
I'd
Like
be
we got
here.
this little spot studio at the Heavies in LaSalle, so
Yo, I'm not even.
maybe you
Yo,
could come through
well,
and
man, once the cycle season kicks in, I know that it takes me 22 minutes to cycle to like where the fucking Mandarin used to be.
gotcha.
So not even much farther to get to other places. I'd be like, I'm really into that shit. I'm into that cycle
Yeah,
life.
let's do it.
But yo, anytime that we can, man. I'm in because that's what this is for me is to like build out and then see what the world is
Yeah,
and
exactly. Build up.
and then
Yeah, man.
then we all link up and yo, what my dream is like we hit parks. Yo, fuck it. Let's say we hit Angry on Park, man, set up, find one of those spots and it becomes the spot hidden deep in the park and if you know, you know. We create vibes like that. Yo, Willie's
Totally
like, I
down for
wanna
that, man.
come. He's in K Town, so he's a stone's throw away from Texas, as he puts it.
Oh shit.
Nah, there's a lot bubbling in old man hip hop, as I'm calling it, but I think we all got to acknowledge it's old man hip hop.
Yeah, it is. It is, but hey, man,
It's good.
we're still here kicking it.
Yeah, facts. And no, we're all here for a long time. Like, we all got 20, 30 years of career. Like, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
I
no
mean, you
shit.
can be a 70-year-old rapper. It's fucking rap. You can be a 70-year-old rapper. It's dope.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing the old school become that, man. I mean, all these cats that everybody was criticizing them at the Super Bowl and laughing at 50 being fat and everything, but I'm like,
Bro,
is that what you
can you
saw?
do that? I want because yo, I'll be really working on my abs right now. Like abs is my main focus, bro. I can't do a curl up to save my fucking life like he did. None of us could. He just fucking dropped down like he's 20 something, and
Yeah, man.
fine.
And he was 24 when he did that.
All he had to say was go. But fuck off. Like you can say go 6 times in a row proper and then drop down and rap a fucking verse.
Yeah,
Get
man.
out.
The only youngster in there was Kendrick, man. That was it. Everybody else was an OG.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Yeah,
I
they're all
mean,
like
even though Dre
50s and
didn't
shit.
really, yeah, man. They're all in their 50s. I mean, I think 50 Cent, he's in
Yeah,
his
M's like
late
49
40s.
or something. But yeah, I
But
mean, like,
imagine, man,
yeah,
Eminem. I mean, come on, man.
yeah. As
Everybody criticizing, but that's not the point, you know? The
I,
point is that they're still there in relevance, you know?
Anderson .Paak was on drums. I was like looking at him and I'm like, Anderson .Paak had the best night of
Oh yeah,
everybody
it's
there.
true. Anderson .Paak was on the
He
drums,
was
true, and he was going at
unapologetically
it.
singing along, like fuck out of here. I'm
Yeah,
at the Super Bowl. Um, that was that
exactly.
was
I don't
one of
need to
my
do a
favorite.
track.
Like that was my favorite part of that thing. He was my favorite part. He was happier than I've. I don't think I'll ever be happy like Anderson .Paak gets happy. I don't know that I'll ever feel his level of happiness in my life, and it's like almost inspiring to see that.
That was crazy. That was actually crazy. Yeah, I totally agree with that moment.
Yeah,
But everybody sees things differently, you know?
yeah.
Like, the kids nowadays would have maybe wanted, trap rappers to be there. And I'm pretty sure it'll happen in any given time
Nah,
soon, maybe
it
other
won't be
Super
like.
Bowls or whatnot.
Well, I mean, I could see how like maybe a Migos in 8 9 years, but like
Yeah,
I don't even
exactly.
think so. I think like the Super Bowl's for people in their 40s,
Yeah, true.
and like
True.
even myself, like Mary J. Blige came on, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about Mary J. Blige. Like she has that. She has that one song, and then the other song I didn't
Yeah,
know. So I was like, okay, cool.
yeah.
Kendrick's dope, but it felt out of place. And then
It
like,
did. It did, yeah.
and then the rest. I
I,
mean,
I said the same thing. It felt out of place.
and then
Totally.
the rest of them was cool, but like I haven't listened to Eminem in like I don't know. I haven't listened to Snoop in I don't know. None of those songs. Like I
And
don't.
they're that old and doing it still, you know?
I mean, I respect them all,
That
and I really like. There's the nostalgia vibe, but like I'm not that big of a nostalgia guy, so like it didn't hit me like that. It was like this is nice, and then I moved on with my life, and it
Yeah,
was like I
exactly.
was more
Totally.
into the set design actually. That was really fun. Like looking at the cool trucks and the way they like were on a Google Maps of Compton and like
Yeah.
that was the fieriest part of that shit for me. And like the
The checker
choreography.
shit in the back and all the Illuminati.
But like
We're not gonna get into that.
the performances were like okay. It was like a nice medley. And then when Eminem did "Lose Yourself," I was like, get the fuck out of here! You did that?
Yeah,
Should have done "Forgot About Dre" or something. You know, like a good one. Or
exactly. I said the same thing. Like that one.
and it was just like okay, what a way to like. Anyway, it was
Yeah,
just
because probably that's his most engrossing, track of them all, I guess.
yeah, I get it, but still, it was disappointment in a box.
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah. Well,
and
to them it's like, yeah, well, at least we were there.
I
There you
love
go.
that they were there. I'm so happy. Just like
Yeah,
when I started seeing French rappers on the bus, on the at back of the buses, Connoisseur and Ticasso and these guys, they were starting to get bus ads. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these guys are, but they're rappers and they're on the bus.
yeah, true. I saw that too. Tizo, that
Yeah,
dude,
Tizo,
Tizo,
that's it.
Tizo. Yeah, I saw him on the back, on the side of a bus, actually.
And you're like,
A whole thing. Yeah,
this is the same city, that was like shutting down hip hop at bars, at a minute. And then there's like the Fende Faible where like Basics fucking rapped on fucking TV and shit. And it was like, I know
yeah,
that guy, and he's on TV rapping.
yeah. One of the dudes who's the creator of that show, who's from End of the Week, is the dude that used to be with us back in the days in the group Metazone I told you about.
Sick.
He's an old member of that.
Which one?
Azteca, Jaime Emilio.
I think I know
He's
him.
one of the creators of.
I've definitely,
He's half Chilean, half Mexican,
if I haven't met him, I've talked to him because at one point I started doing a show
for
with
sure.
End of the Week New York, so I was like, I should probably go like tell Quebec I'm doing this shit. I don't know how they feel,
Right.
and they were cool with it. They're like, oh, that's cool, and then we never really talked again because COVID.
Yeah, they're cool dudes, man. They're really cool dudes, man. They took it to the next level.
I They put it on
When,
TV, like
yeah, man, exactly.
everything about that is next level. And honestly, the more I've learned about what End of the Week is, the more I have big respect for them holding it down here and just wrapping that chapter because
Absolutely.
that's a hard sell. It's a
Yeah,
hard.
now they're gonna do the Anglophone version.
Are
They're
they?
working on yeah, man, which is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Maybe I should try. What am I saying? I'd be stupid to. Everyone should
Of
try.
course, man. Of
I'm gonna
course.
try it for because I know the contest,
Exposure
bro. Like I know what this contest is in
doesn't
and
matter.
out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's how it makes you feel. The first thing out of your mouth was I should try it.
Yeah,
So that's right then and
yeah,
there.
that's
That's
fair. I
the
should do that shit. It would be yo Willie. We should all try make a whole stream out of going to the
absolutely.
fucking things till we get told to turn off your fucking cameras.
Yeah, man. Totally. Exactly.
Nah, I'm into it. But no, I didn't know they were doing the English side. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I don't know if it's gonna be televised though. I don't know how they're doing it. I just heard they're doing it.
Well, I know they have like the IRL contest and shit, and I have expressed at
Yeah.
some level a degree of wanting to be in it. To that, cause yo, I'm willing to like. I'll go to their like fucking like. I went to the alleyway to hang out with them one time over COVID, and I was like rapping in the alleys with them. That, cause yo, Monkey's fucking kind of fire to rap with and shit, and like some of these guys are really
Yeah, man.
like it's not that I care that they know I rap per se, but I care that they know I rap. You know, like
Yeah,
I
of
don't want to
course.
be like you don't want to be typecasted as the podcast guy.
Right.
But like, yeah, it's good times. I fucks with all of this. I fuck. This is the fact that there's so much of this that's happening. Plus the festivals. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
how
man.
much hip hop was prominently featured over the summer last year in like bigger things
Oh fuck.
like
Oh shit. Yeah, big time, man.
even
More than ever.
Willie got to rap at Cabot Square. Like all kinds of shit be going on. Anyway,
Yeah, man. We even thinking about it. I'm thinking about if I do get this EP or album, whatever it's called, this new shit, right? Not the monumental one, but we do get it ready soon. I'm thinking of going and dropping it because I know a few people there. I'm pretty sure they'll take it for serious. It's just I don't know how to go about it, on our site. To go about it, yeah, it's easy. A few phone calls, a few drop offs, sending emails, blah blah blah. That's the boring part of this all.
that's the part most
That's
of
the
us
the, the
actually. So
connections.
here's the thing: most of us suck at that part.
Yeah, we do.
I don't. That's the part
We
I'm
do.
learning right now. I have to like,
Yeah,
but yeah. But what's the other side?
totally. I suck at that shit too. But I got good at it by doing my regular job,
Mm.
you know, by doing what I do to bring back home the bacon, as they say, my bread and butter. I'm so good at it for my company that now I know how to do it for my music. And it took that. And I'm pretty sure my partner Heavy would say the same thing. I'm pretty sure he would say the same thing
Mm.
because he's independent as well. He's a life coach, he's a trainer, personal trainer, and he doesn't depend on no one. And he's not getting any checks off of hip hop, and we're not getting any checks off of hip hop. We never did get it. Hip hop never gave food to my kids. So, I respect it. I love it, but for the passion of it. Now to actually make a career out of it, if I would have to, think about all these little things like we're talking about, sending emails and that's what a manager does. And I'm not willing at this point in my life to start looking for a manager
So that's where like
to
I think the solution is collectivism.
yeah, absolutely.
Cause like I don't want
Absolutely.
a manager, but I definitely want to work with like 7 people with a shared mission that each of us can do one part of the grunt work.
Absolutely.
Cause like
Yeah.
that's what the little ones are doing, I think, and like I
Yeah,
really
that's exactly what they're doing.
and like
That's exactly new.
so
Yeah.
I'm trying to find some white collar people. Low key, I'm soft pitching my colleagues. Like they don't know this, but like I'm like, yo, I like was telling a guy today. I'm like, frankly, we all need somebody like you around. None of us is grounded. Like you're just not an artist. We need a guy like you at some point to just be there and be like, your ideas are trash because you guys are being fucking weirdo artists right now and you don't know it. And I'm like, so yeah, like it's like, but that's another thing is all of us are artists hanging out with artists, and none of us have not that many non-artists in the clique.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
That's another
That's
one,
exactly what it is.
and I haven't figured
Yeah.
out how to make non-artists want to be in the clique. It's a hard sell.
Yeah. It's a hard sell, but I mean, once you get that crowd, it's a whole new different ballgame. That's for sure.
That's facts.
Because then that exposure goes way beyond what your imagination could take you. 'Cause somebody else is doing another job that you didn't even need it to be done in the first place. It'll get you places that.
Honestly, yeah, man. Like off camera, there's some really interesting things that are brewing just because of this. And it's not like anything more than just the dedication to it. I don't know. Like people can tell that clearly I'm gonna do this if I don't get paid, so they fuck with that. I
Right.
don't mean like fans or whatever. I mean like people that do shit. Like actually
Right.
have things going that are just better versions of what I have. So we're looking on how to like okay, let's piggyback off of other people's networks a little bit more and migrate up and like level up in the world and
Absolutely.
because yo, Twitch is social. If you ever get into Twitch, bro, it's like an anti-algorithm. It's all like Discord. Just you live on Discord and
Okay, get it.
network, and you have to go like so like I raid into next man's after this, and then I realize he's in fucking VR, and we have to go be friends with him because we're trying to invade VR so that we can be the Montreal VR pipeline, and like you have to go find the people doing the things because everything's hard, but then there's no
So it's
specialist.
more organic in a
Organic?
way.
No, it is organic. Organic is misconstrued as free, but organic is really just
Right.
community efforts and all the fucking peopling. Like when I
Yeah.
post 7 times a day on Facebook, that's organic effort. Just to put brand
Yeah,
thought leadership
exactly.
out there
True.
and shit like that. So like, yeah, like it is organic like that, and it's hard because like it's like dating too. So it's like organic and it's like Tinder all at the same time, and it's
Yeah.
fun. I like it because
We're in a crazy era.
but it's cool because you can kind of suck sometimes, and that part's amazing. Like it doesn't have to be perfect anymore, and I'd rather that world any day
No,
of the week.
absolutely.
So
Yeah. That perfectionism is played out, man.
so
Totally corny and tacky played out.
that's definitely what it's gonna be, man. I appreciate you a lot, dude. I really enjoyed this
Appreciate you too,
conversation.
man.
Um, honestly, do you have any like final things you want to say to the folk out there so we can wrap it up before it drones on and it gets kind of not hot?
Hey man, check out our stuff on YouTube. 999 official. We got a full EP there. 7 tracks.
Yeah, have the link set
All
up.
different.
So I hit.
Bless it up. Check it out. We're coming up with more. And we're working on it right now as we speak. And check us out when the Clash competition starts and they start posting all the series out of all the MCs and groups that were there. Shout out to Chris Chrome for this opportunity. He was awesome
Packs.
enough to give us props for the tracks, but then he started talking about a whole bunch of other things, featurings, you. So
Yeah,
big
shout out
shout out
Chris
to that
Crow.
dude and his partner. I'm sorry,
Chemo,
I
the key to
forgot
more
his name.
greatness.
Chemo, yes, he
It's
wrote me the other day on Facebook. Totally awesome dudes. And by the way, they got tracks because I noticed I was listening. They
yo,
got lyrics, they
I
got
fucks with
tracks.
chemo. Chemo randomly fell into my life by accident. Chemo. Okay, so what happened was, you know how Facebook groups be. Chemo posted some petty shit like, "Bet nobody's gonna like this post," and I was in a mood, so I fucking clicked on his shit. I fucking clicked like, took a screenshot, and slapped that shit down and said, "Fuck out of here." Don't be an assumptive asshole. And like,
Yo, cool ass dudes, man.
and then he
Honestly.
like hit me up after, like, "Yo, bro, I didn't even know." Da, da, da. And then next thing you know, he's at my crib one day and we started like chilling. But he got me booked twice in COVID, dude. He got me booked
Wow.
twice in COVID. Like, what? How? And he calls himself the key to more greatness. And I have to give him his props. Of all the people I
Well, more
know,
props to
he
Chemo.
has been a key to more greatness than a lot more other people have been in terms of like real talk shit. And so I really think Chemo's one of those guys that will work harder than most other people. And that's why you're going to hear what he comes with. And it's going to be really weird and out there. And people are going to write him off a lot, but he's just going to keep getting better. And then by the time he's 35, because I think he just turned 30, he's going to kick the shit out of most people he raps against because he's also a
For
hustler.
sure. And on another level as well, man. I noticed that. I even told them.
And it's like, it's
One
cool.
thing I noticed about their tracks, about what, well, I heard one track, right? First thing I noticed right away, it had a lot of emotion. And I like that.
Mm,
You know, I really like that. Music needs to give me an emotion, music for moods, I'm totally for that. Not music for moments or whatever, music for the mood.
facts. That's
And he gave that to me right when we were listening. We were like, yo, these guys got heartfelt shit. They're wearing their heart on their sleeves right now, for a competition, so I totally fucks with them, and they're awesome. Those two dudes are sick, sick, sick. Can't wait to be in the studio or do something or just be around and just talking to
oh
sick
man,
dudes, man.
for real. These two guys are like, I could bring them down anytime. Like
Let's
those
do it.
two, like fucking easy peasy. Like Chris is my guy. Chris is gonna watch this and be like, I got a message. Well, I got to that part of the video, and then Chemo, that's easy peasy. Me and Chemo's like we cool. Like I put Chemo on a song like a couple of years back because like I was like, yeah, let's do it. He put me on some shit recently. It's like it is such like a tone shift when he starts rapping, but it's so fucking enjoyable. um, Anyway, I really appreciate you coming through. I also appreciate everyone watching who came
Likewise.
through. Like I see you still here, Willie and Lindell. Lindell sticks through for the whole fucking thing every time. He's like a gangster like that. Like 3 hours and change he's been here with us. I think like you're part
Shit.
a little less than 3 hours, but he's been here watching your music for that long and shit. So appreciate everybody that is watching it. Plus all of y'all in the future that aren't here watching it and are not live, you're still appreciated too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that
Absolutely.
good stuff. The YouTube and others game. Links in description so you can follow the 999 officials and hear their wonderful music. It will all be there. And yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot, man. I'm really glad that we had this
Appreciate you,
chat for
man.
real. And on that note,
Absolutely. More to come.
facts, man. Live long and prosper, everybody.
Yes. One love, man.
And
Thanks for this opportunity.